Yes, do you want to listen to it to hear, let us know how we're coming?
Hey everybody, how's it going? We are live from the Chubby Tilly Memorial Studios here in an undisclosed location, and we are back again. It's Matt Ryan and Harry Terjanian. The little name thing will make it a little bit clear to you. And this is the UFC 244 live radio play-by-play. It's got to say it. Here, live on the SBN MMA YouTube channel. Harry, we hit the big time.
This is it. We got our own little studio.
We built the thing.
We decorated ourselves.
That's right.
Just in time for the show.
Yeah.
We do it all here. I mean, literally, all of it.
Yes.
It actually would be nice if we didn't have to,
build
but we did.
I had to build these cabinets myself. I painted all of these pictures. They're not photos. I actually painted these.
Most of them.
Yes.
And the inside references to people we know, but we won't bore you with that because you don't care.
No.
All you care about is the card tonight.
And right now, it is the final fight of the prelims. It is Kevin McDonald as your referee. As basically, Harry, these guys are fighting for the chance to fight John Jones, maybe if he doesn't go to heavyweight.
Oof, oof. Oh, so the winner gets to fight John Jones.
In theory, you would think that.
Well,
but
Johnny Walker, as we know.
And Corey Anderson.
With Johnny Walker, you never know what's going to happen. Will it be a knockout? Will it be submission? Will he break his ankle breakdancing? We don't know.
He did hurt his shoulder the last time doing the worm, and as someone who had that happen to him numerous times.
And I hate to be a stickler here, but he didn't actually do the worm. He just fell down.
And then...
Well, it wasn't the worm. He did the salute, and then it's not even a move that anyone does.
It was like Ortiz from Proud and Powerful, like when he does the plank thing, and he fell, and then he decided the worm, or he had a convulsion, and then essentially had a worm.
Well, it was a Charlie Chaplin type face plant, but him and Anderson going at it, starting the first round here, the last fight of the prelims.
A little bit of grappling against the cage. Anderson ranked 7th, Walker ranked 11th in the light heavyweight division. And a big night inside Madison Square Garden, about 3 miles from our undisclosed location, through a variety of tunnels.
A big event, a lot going on top of an amazing card. The President of the United States, POTUS, he will be there in attendance. The big question, will he get booed worse or less than he was booed during the World Series?
And the sound, I think he'll be booed a significant amount tonight.
Okay.
I don't know by how much, but let's remember that it is Long Island and New Jersey are close, and Anderson just smothering and covering Walker. Oh, this one's not going to end. Oh, this won't last long. No. Walker finding a way to stay upright here, but Anderson with the takedown, isolating that left hip, and Walker trying to battle out of it here in the early going.
He's using that lanky frame just to keep himself up, but still taking some punches from Anderson. And Kevin McDonald with the sharpest hair part in all of UFC and sports in general. And again, somehow Walker surviving, but
Walker swinging wild. He is dazed and confused. It's over.
That's it. And a little bit of
don't push the referee.
Yeah, Anderson wants more. He won the fight already.
And now the camera going completely blurry, and Johnny Walker, no worming tonight. His Brian Bosworth haircut has cost him, I believe.
The mohawk?
The mohawk, yes.
Oh, the Boz.
The Boz, yeah. He had a very...
I thought you were mentioning Barry Bostwick, the mayor on Spin City.
Yes, Barry Bostwick.
And I was like, why?
Because I'm a lover of Spin City. I'm a lover of mid-range 90s sitcoms.
It was a good show.
It was.
Even when Charlie Sheen was on, it was a good show. We have to acknowledge this. We have to acknowledge when Charlie Sheen does the right thing. But look at the replay.
Oh, that looping right hand, and Walker trying to be fanciful, trying to fight back.
I mean, he was fighting back, but you could see he's dazed. Oof.
He tried to do that snap thing. This coming in from the chat on the SBN MMA YouTube channel. Send this link to a friend. Let him join the party. We've got a party going all night long right here for free on YouTube. We'll be calling the fights for you. Anderson just devoured
headbutted him. So Walker headbutted him after the stoppage. No.
Well, let's see here on the replay. Back, just pummeling him.
Walker kept getting up.
Quick right hand. Referee stops the fight. And tries to go for a headbutt. He doesn't connect.
He doesn't connect. He might have just got the mohawk. but he just pushes Kevin McDonald to the side a little bit. That's going to be problematic, or it won't because it's the UFC.
It's either going to be a $20,000 fine, or he immediately gets a title shot, or has become interim light heavyweight
or he gets a
champion.
headbutt bonus, which we didn't know existed until tonight.
Dana might just now carried away in victory
by his corner people. Wow. Well, no celebrating for Johnny Walker in the last fight of the prelims.
And guys, we understand you can't. We have a little bit of technical difficulties with the sound. What we'll do right now is take a brief timeout. We're going to fix the sound, and we'll be back in just a brief moment with our next fight and the main card of UFC 244.
I'm going to take this in the other room and listen.
Yeah.
Live, guys.
Live.
Get back. And we're back here inside the studio. Hopefully the sound is quicker. And Matt Ryan
and you'll let us know.
Yeah, thank you for letting us know, guys. We don't have our earpieces in here, sadly.
For once, a helpful critique from the internet. And I'll keep to the comments that don't tell me to, piss off.
Yeah, that would be. And the official decision will be Anderson with the victory here. And Harry, what's the official decision here?
Oh, I mean, it's knocked him out.
Well, it was officially a knockout. I was trying to see if it was a TKO or just a knockout.
The referee stoppage.
It's ref stoppage.
Yeah.
Winner by TKO, 207 in the round one. Yeah. Corey Anderson, your winner in the final fight of the prelims. And a defiant win by Anderson. Someone who basically Walker thought he was going to pass by on the road to a title shot. And now tied for the most wins in the UFC light heavyweight division since 2014 with 10. Tied with Oven St. Preux.
Anderson, thank you the Lord and Savior Jennifer Anderson, his wife. I thought he said Jennifer Aniston.
Well, you could thank Jennifer Aniston too. I thank you, Jennifer Aniston. I don't know why. Thank you for friends. Thank you for friends.
And Anderson's gonna watch the replay.
Well, let's take a look at the chat here while you listen to that. Alex Stevenson saying the fight was stopped too early.
I don't think so.
Bad call, brother. No, Alex. That fight was stopped on time. Walker was on Dream Street. He thought he was on Broadway right now. He thought he was taking a photo with one of those weird Elmo guys you see in Times Square and not in the middle of a fight in Madison Square Garden. Oh, that right to the chin. Yeah, no, he was done.
Well, Walker was tough. He was still on his feet, but he refused. He was still getting punched in the face. He was out. You could see it.
Tied for second with longest active win streaks in the light heavyweight division. Dominic Reyes with 6. Anderson and Alexander Rakic with 4 tied in second. Garuda COA saying it was stopped early, but would have been the same seconds later or worse. And
you could see, he kept getting up. Walker was definitely...
He was game, but good call by the referee stopping it at the right time,
We'll watch the replay again here, and Johnny Walker was getting up, but you could see he's a little bit dazed, and then he would go down, and he just wasn't throwing enough punches.
Yeah, and for those who are just joining us, Anderson with the win over Johnny Walker via TKO in the first round, pretty much cementing himself as the likely challenger as he dances his way through press row, through some of our compatriots.
Through the press, and just doing a little shuffle. fist pounding the NYSAC referee for some
Dan
reason.
Mergliotta getting a pound.
He's just...
Sir, we have a pay-per-view to start. What? Just go get him to the back. Get him to the locker room.
They're following him because that fight ended real quick. But
yep.
We still got another 13 minutes before the main card starts.
Yeah.
So they're letting him do the hustle, everything he's got to do.
They brought out the house band. Don't get us demonetized.
We can't get demonetized for me whistling the hustle.
You know what? I don't know what this algorithm.
That would be my music if I came out into the Octagon. SBN MMA YouTube channel. Here we are during the prelims for tonight's UFC. UFC 244. Of course, Jorge Masvidal and Nate Diaz. By the way, I have an exclusive. I'm going to break it here because we were covering the press conference yesterday. And in addition to Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson showing up, it was a very exciting press conference. After the press conference, I had some stand-up gigs to do. I was still in the city. I decided to go eat at Whole Foods. Who did I see in Whole Foods immediately after the press conference? Nate Diaz.
Did you try to fight him in the Whole Foods?
I did not do the Jorge Masvidal. No, I didn't see Jorge Masvidal in the Whole Foods.
There's like 87 Whole Foods in the island of Manhattan.
The closest location to the Garden is the one I went to, and Nate Diaz, we went separately. I saw him in the bathroom at the urinal, true story. He washes his hands.
Thank
Nate
God.
Diaz does wash his hands. That's good. I didn't get a look at the unit, so I can't give you any information on that.
Why would you even talk?
I'm a journalist, and
that is
people
not
want to
journal.
know.
That's not journalism.
Well, if there was a story there? I don't know.
That's Reddit at best.
You don't know what's going on. What if he's got a Prince Albert? Does that factor into the fight at all?
How?
I don't know. It's never happened before. I'm just saying, if we break the news, I would be the first one to break it. I just want to be the first.
I'm gonna crack open some of this 18th ward right now, just to
look. It's the only exclusive I have. What do you want me to tell you?
It's a terrible exclusive.
I know, but it's the only one I have.
You are the worst exclusive.
All right, who else is breaking that story tonight?
No one.
All right, that's
because
what makes
it's unnecessary. Nate Diaz went to eat, use his restroom. That's not a headline.
And wash his hands.
I hope our editors are.
What if I was in there and somebody from the commission did a random piss test in the bathroom at the Whole Foods? It could happen, right?
If that happened, then that would be a story.
You got a little thing in your mustache there. I was hoping to see what he ate, but I didn't want to follow Nate Diaz too closely.
While we discuss Nate Diaz going to the bathroom, be sure to subscribe to SBN MMA's YouTube channel right now. Subscribe to Bloody Elbow and MMA Mania's YouTube channel as well, and also subscribe on Twitter at MMA Mania on the Twitter machine. Also give us a like on Facebook and follow us on Instagram. And be sure to like this video, share this video across social media. Use the hashtag UFC244 so we can get those sweet, delicious analytics.
Absolutely.
At the end of the day, all of you are just numbers to us. You're not people. You're just. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. You're all lovely people, and we're so glad to have you here. Someone saying high pitch.
High pitch on what?
I don't. You're throwing. You.
Oh, that I'm throwing a high pitch?
Yeah, you're throwing high pitches. You're not.
Look, I'm a journalist now, so.
It's a sad state of affairs.
Well, you don't need a degree to be a journalist. Although I do have one, but that's not what makes me a journalist
It's in cosmetology,
anymore.
though.
This is official. This is SB Nation, baby. SB Nation. Your number one source for sports news without an E in the name. It's SB Nation.
And also, please do give us a thumbs up and subscribe. As our moderator is saying in the chat, we want you to let everybody know how much fun you're having tonight once we get into the fights. Harry, the BMF title, we saw it yesterday for the first time.
I was not impressed.
It looked like a car hood ornament. It didn't evoke.
It wasn't gaudy enough for me.
No.
I mean, there's no flames on it. There was no diamond, unnecessary amount of diamond. It looked like the UFC belt, but it just says Silver. BMF on it.
Yeah, and it had 244 and 500 on the side plates.
Well, all right, that's great, but I mean, it needed some flames, maybe like a knife or something, a picture of a knife, a
picture of a knife,
a broken Heineken bottle, something that lets you know.
It would be Modelo because or 18th Ward, like a nice 18th Ward, an 18th Ward.
But 18th Ward is a classy drink. You don't smash that to cut somebody.
Not yet.
That's all I'm saying.
Night is early.
Well, maybe. Got a big jug of it, so it's going to be a long night.
It's going to be a long night. This coming in from Stephen James in the chat.
Oh.
It looked like a fantasy football league belt for 4 fat guys from Brooklyn.
Yeah.
And as a fat guy from Brooklyn who's played fantasy football, yes, it looks
look
exactly like that. I
was a little disappointed by it. I'm not
yeah,
gonna
like
lie.
all of this hype. They said it cost $50,000 to make. As someone who has had to purchase a custom-made championship belt in my lifetime, if that cost $50,000, Dana White's getting worked.
I mean,
Like whoever like the design of the belt withstanding, like that's not a $50,000 belt.
doesn't look like it's $50,000.
No,
It doesn't look like a $50,000.
I think they would have just rathered $50,000.
Oh, a cash prize?
Yeah.
If you would duct tape $50,000 to a
like a replica UFC
just
belt.
a belt? No, I just mean like a belt that holds your pants with $50,000
Yes.
in hundreds just duct taped to
Or
it.
an old school belt buckle that just says BMF on it.
Or one of those vests like in Midnight Express where you have to where you got to sneak the money on a plane or whatever, and you duct tape all the money to yourself. That would have been great, but it's a disappointing belt. But still, the fight card is still going to be amazing.
Oh, no, yeah. We're starting things off with a really good one. Kevin Lee going up against Gregor Gillespie, which should be going down at the top of the hour. We're here live from an undisclosed location. Look at our wonderful set. It may not be as opulent as our UFC 242 set, but it's got a lot of homey features. We've got this lovely photo, signed autograph photo by Chubby Sotilli. We've got Pumpkin Daniel Bryan here. We've got Ziggy Stardust, and my personal favorite, Bobby Bonilla.
Bobby Bonilla,
Bobby Bonilla here.
the man who negotiated the greatest deal in sports history. Nobody negotiated a better deal than Bobby Bonilla, who will be paid to not play for the New York Mets till the year 2045. I do believe that's an estimate. Don't look it up.
He
we don't fact
truly
check
is the
here.
BMF. Like that.
He is the BMF.
That's a BMF move right there. To just get paid. He was there for
He
like
took
half
the
a year.
Wilpons or whoever was in charge of the Mets front office and bent them over and got his money. That's a BMF move. Bobby Bonilla is the most BMF of all time.
Rod Bars in our chat on YouTube is saying, looks like the belt you win at the stand.
Oh, which stand? Like the carnival?
I think it's a carnival belt.
For eating the most chicken wings?
Yes.
What was a better belt? I've seen those belts.
You know what?
They're better.
The Nathan's hot dog day.
That's a better belt.
The 4th of July hot dog eating contest belt, better belt than the BMF belt.
Look, we can't have any more people get banned. It doesn't matter.
John's
We'll criticize the belt. The new belt stinks. I don't like it. I love the old one.
Well, let's talk about that. What's a better belt than the BMF belt?
Than the BMF belt?
Yeah, and
It's
I
not
want
a
to know in
great
the
belt.
chat too, guys. If you're watching us right now, that's coming in from the chat. Bonilla Monetary Fund, BMF.
Oh yeah, Bobby Bonilla.
That's right. They're fighting for the Bonilla Monetary Fund title belt tonight inside Madison Square Garden.
Who made that deal for the Mets? Gary Carter? Who was in
No,
charge?
it was Steve Phillips.
Lenny Dykstra couldn't have screwed the Mets out of more money. And he tried, believe me. He tried to get him involved in some Ponzi scheme. You know he did.
He was one day ahead of me.
Why
Behind me.
Why did Lenny Dykstra pull out of that fight again with the bagel boss?
Because he was in legal trouble.
Under what? What
I
this
think
time?
a bar fight.
He had gotten into a bar fight?
He got into a bar fight.
Can't
And
keep
Rod
track.
Barr said the Stand Comedy Club in New York City, which
Oh,
is
I love the
lovely
Stand.
venue.
Yeah, I love
Great
the
venue
Stand.
there.
One of my home clubs in New York City. Well, I'm going to be doing some more business with the Stand very, very soon. But I think
Ooh.
he's talking about the Comedy Fight Club belt.
Yes,
Which is
Matt
very
Maron.
good. The Comedy Fight Club belt was good, or the belt that Luis J. Gomez came up with for, I don't know what he called it. I don't want to give the wrong name. It's not Roast
His
Battle.
Ellis Mania belt. There was a Roast
the
Battle.
Ellis Mania. They're all better than that UFC belt. I just don't like
the
it.
John Cena Spinner belt. Better than that. The UFC
That's
Super
rough. I
Fight
hate it.
belt. Why did they just not bring back the Super Fight title?
I never saw
They
the Super
got
Fight
the
title.
belt back. There's a whole Fakakta documentary about it. Why not just bring that belt back? Now I sound like Alex Jones. I'm starting to rant and rave.
Well, no, because you're not claiming that the belt made frogs gay, right?
No,
It
I'm
didn't.
not. I'm not.
Just listen. There's no problem if the frogs are gay. I'm all cool with that. I just want you to know. I support all frogs, gay frogs, trans frogs, everything. I'm all in.
All frogs.
All
Hooray,
frogs.
Hooray, frogs.
Hooray for frogs.
As
would
Chael
wind down.
Sonnen, Chael Sonnen, a guy who made a lot of money. He's basically the reason why guys like us are able to do this.
Oh my
in the
God.
sense of he was able to cultivate and basically rip off superstar Billy Graham's act. throw in a little bit of a pro-America stance.
Well, he did the pro-America stance, but Colby Covington, right? He's doing the pro-America stance, but it's not working, right?
Yeah.
It's not. I mean, he was booed heavily at the press conference yesterday for...
if you did not... I watched the UFC 245 press conference yesterday.
We were there. In person at the Hulu Theater, isn't it?
Yes.
The Hulu Theater.
And it was by far the closest to an ECW crowd I think I've ever seen in my life. The Colby Covington might have cut himself shaving. And
look, I like what he's doing because I know it's an act. I get it, and it's fun for him to come out there and play a heel. And I give him all credit in the world. It's hilarious that he's reading Donald Trump Jr.'s book in front of everybody. But I do hope he gets his lights knocked out.
Yeah, him and Kamaru Usman at UFC 245, which we hopefully will be covering for you guys live this coming December right here on the SBN MMA YouTube channel. So I want to know in the chat right now, what fight, aside from the BMF belt fight, I know that's a fight we're all looking forward to see, but what's the fight you guys are looking forward to? What's that one fight tonight that you guys really want to see? And for me, it's Derek Lewis coming back. Coming off of 2 straight losses, looking to reassert himself in a interesting heavyweight division that's pretty much on hold until Stipe and Cormier are really able to kind of get things settled early next year. But to see how he performs tonight in a fight on the main card.
It's a pretty stacked card tonight. You know, some of these cards sometimes are a little bit, you're heavy on the main event.
Yeah.
This one is a good one overall. The prelims have been really good as well. So, I mean, which fight are you looking forward to? Which one are you looking forward to?
I said the Derek Lewis fight. The Derek Lewis fight for me. Kevin Lee versus Gregor Gillespie. Gillespie's undefeated. Kevin Lee also coming off of 2 straight losses, really trying to figure out where he's going in his career, trying to bounce back. The Kelvin Gastelum Darren Till fight is going to be interesting to see what Darren Till does at 185 pounds after not really fulfilling that potential people thought, and primarily him, that he had at welterweight. And welterweight as a division is pretty maxed out right now, especially when you have to create a BMF belt for the main event tonight. But Gastelum and Till, the co-main event at middleweight. Gastelum coming off of a loss to Israel Adesanya for the interim UFC middleweight title. There we go. NYU grad, ladies and gentlemen. And we're taking a look at the chat. Jesse Holland is locked in our studio's bathroom, so we're going to have to dispatch our dog Coco to get him out. It's either that or we just
Coco might make an appearance tonight.
Yes.
We don't know.
We might have some appearances tonight. We might have some stuff going on.
The undisclosed location has a lot of wild dogs running around. We don't want to disclose
It's essentially just
the
a junkyard. We are in the shed of a junkyard.
You can do a lot to hide a junkyard. I wish it was a junkyard where we zoomed out and it was just us in a junkyard with a backdrop.
Brandon Clark asking, did you plan the matching clothes? Yes.
Yeah, well, it matches in so much that fat guys wear black to hide that they're fat.
Very much that. Very much that. It is the top of the hour. It is 10 o'clock in the Eastern Standard Time Zone, and it is time for everybody's favorite thing to see if ESPN Plus actually works for pay-per-view.
All right, we'll do that, but we're here with you on SBN MMA YouTube channel for SB Nation, MMA Mania. We're here representing multiple great organizations.
Yes. MMA Mania, Bloody Elbow, the 2 primary ones.
Also 18th Ward on board. A lot of good people helping us out over here.
A delicious beverage, an IPA from 18th Ward Brewing. Give them a follow, please, as we go live here inside Madison Square Garden. And yes, that is a signed picture of a dog behind us. It's a signed, personalized photograph of the greatest dog of all time, Chubberton Sotilli. And this is the Chubby Sotilli Memorial Studios inside the shed of a junkyard. That's Harry Terjanian, I'm Matt Ryan, and we are live on the SBN MMA YouTube channel as they show the opening package, and once again showing Ben Askren get just knocked out completely by Ben Askren. That footage is the down goes Frazier of mixed martial arts.
I mean, it's the fastest knockout in UFC history. I mean, it's incredible, and his career hasn't recovered since.
Oh no, because he lost to Demian Maia last week in Singapore, and that was rough to watch.
So quick, he had so much potential. We'll see how he comes back from that, but that is last week's news.
Yeah. This week's news is the BMF belt, and yes, Jesse, Ben Askren, face the pain. I miss that theme song. I miss the old UFC theme song.
The old one?
The old one, yes. You pine for your youth. You pine for when MMA wasn't something that pays your bills and causes you nothing but agita.
I miss the belt. Let's see, we're doing the highlights here. Of course, Nate Diaz choking out Conor McGregor. That makes the highlights always.
And to those watching, hoping to see not our two wonderful faces, but Askren and Diaz and Masvidal punch each other about the face for 5 rounds. You're not getting that. If you would like to watch that fight, go to ESPN Plus and put the mute button on and listen to us. But we're giving you the breakdown every single moment of every single fight on the UFC 244 main card is live here right now. We're giving you the radio-style blow-by-blow, the Jack Brickhouse-style blow-by-blow back in the 40s and 50s, the Harakiri style of blow-by-blow.
Let's see. We're looking at the chats here.
Anthony Smith taking to Twitter to call out Corey Anderson. Look at you now, tough guy. You finally put some away, and now you talk S to a barely ranked dude after you finish him? I hear my name is coming across your desk. Sign it this time, and I'll do the UFC a favor. Or sit down and be humble and shut your mouth. Wow.
Okay.
Anthony Smith.
That's some fighting words.
I'd watch that fight. I'd watch Anthony Smith versus Corey Anderson.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Corey Anderson did a lot of. I mean, he's becoming one of those guys that does a lot of talking. One of the talkers, which I love. I'm a big fan of the people that.
We are in the MMA and pro wrestling. If you built a Venn diagram, the concentric circles are too close together.
I love it.
To where you can't compare. You can compare MMA to boxing, but the comparisons between MMA and pro wrestling in terms of the presentation style, the way these cards are built, the way the entire sport has been developed, it's been developed over character, personality. The biggest stars in the sport, we have Masvidal and Diaz, two of which who were not in title contention heading into 2019. Now fighting for a specially created belt inside the most respected venue for combat sports in the world, Madison Square Garden.
Well, that shows you how deep, the talent pool is right now.
Yeah.
That even though these guys, neither of them are champions right now, they're headlining this pay-per-view at Madison Square Garden, the world's most famous arena, and people are into it. I mean, this is not one of those things where you go, they pieced it together. I mean, technically. I mean, the headline fight in Newark, the afternoon show, it was a good show, but, Colby Covington is your headliner. It's a little bit...
So let's revisit the last fight of the prelims. It was Corey Anderson and Johnny Walker. Yeah. Johnny Walker getting dusted in about 2.5 minutes into the fight. Does this mean a title shot for Corey Anderson? Because in a division right now where Jones's last opponent is out until 2020, Anthony Smith's not going to be getting that immediate rematch. Johnny Walker, the guy that a lot of people thought was going to be the guy that got that shot, and now Anderson
changes everything.
Yeah, it completely
changes everything. So I mean, in that division, it's one of those situations every once in a while where that division ends up being kind of decimated, and you're like, who's there? And it's a chance for Anderson to kind of upset the whole thing. It's the same thing that happened with boxing and Andy Ruiz, winning the title in a huge upset. But I love that because it changes the whole division now. So now you have someone else in the conversation.
And the one thing, like, you look at the UFC welterweight division, it's in a state of chaos. The UFC middleweight division, there's a lot of parity in those two divisions, especially at lightweight. Once you start going up into heavyweight and light heavyweight, the heavyweight division has depth. You've got Francis Ngannou waiting in the wings for whoever comes out of Miocic and Cormier 3. But at light heavyweight, you feel like there's not a lot of options, and Jones is basically biding his time until he's comfortable enough to fight at heavyweight or Daniel Cormier retires, whatever happens first.
You think he's dodging Cormier?
I don't know if he's dodging.
It's been years that fight has not happened.
At light heavyweight, Jones has the advantage. At heavyweight, I think that Cormier has a bit more of an advantage. Because we saw it in both fights against Stipe. He's more comfortable at heavyweight. He hits harder. He moves a little better. He's not, deterred by a weight cut.
Where are we at with the Stipe and Cormier 3?
Stipe's hurt.
Right.
So he's going to basically out until early 2020 because of an eye injury. So that third fight's going to happen. The rubber match is going to happen, and it'll be
When have you set that yet, or
no, that's not set
they're
yet.
both. I mean, they
I
both
would
said they
assume
want
maybe
it.
February, March.
Okay.
January 18th seems to be Conor McGregor Day, unless certain things that are out there in the media come to fruition. We don't know. But someone in the chat, Brandon Clark, saying John Jones is scared. Is he scared of Cormier? Is he scared of moving up to heavyweight? What's that apprehension?
Well, the thing with John Jones is you never know what's happening with John Jones is almost like the Kanye West of the UFC, where it's like whatever happens this month, that means nothing next month.
And this coming in
and also releasing a gospel album coming soon, a gospel hip hop album this month.
Speaking of gospel hip hop, Donald Trump is officially inside Madison Square Garden. He will be watching the fights tonight. Colby Covington allegedly going to be joining in the president's box. I don't know if that'll actually be a thing or not, but we're going to be following that as that progresses here tonight.
Well, he said he wants it to happen. Whether or not it does happen, I don't know. I mean, we'll secure.
There's a lot of things that I want to happen.
I mean, it's the Trump administration. It's Colby Covington being in that box.
He might end
the craziest thing that happens
this week. He might end up becoming Secretary of Education for all we know.
Well,
according to the lovely people of my hometown, the city of New York, Colby Covington can't read. We can't prove that. We can't
prove that he certainly was holding the book like he knew how to read. It was right side up during the press conference. But you know, again, we'll get to the bottom of it. If he can read, you know, there's no proof that he can't. There's no. I mean, probably you could argue that he was looking at the pictures. We have no proof of this as well. There's a lot of speculation, and according to Colby Covington, fake news.
Yes, fake news. Marty fake news. Marty fake newsman.
You know,
for all the you know, Colby Covington reminds me a lot of a guy who entered the professional wrestling business and decided to ape a lot of the traits of professional wrestlers, and it got him to a certain point and to a certain extent, but it doesn't get him over that hill. Like, he's not an elite talker, in my opinion.
Look, he's doing a good job of, you know, look, we're talking about him and he's not even on this card, right?
Yeah,
so
it's true.
Say what you will, in the world of combat sports, some of these guys don't talk a great game.
No.
You know, Jorge Masvidal was calling out everybody, including Conor McGregor, including Nate Diaz.
He wants to fight. He's fought 47 times as a professional.
He was even just talking about just their talking. You know what I mean? He's calling them out on their crap, on their shooting. But you know, we'll see. But it's a hell of a stacked card tonight. Kevin Lee, Gregor Gillespie, I believe, is leading us off.
That'll be leading us off, and then an interesting story in our second fight of the pay-per-view. Derek Lewis versus Blagoy Ivanov. Ivanov, an interesting story, had to take 3 years off after being stabbed, hospitalized, and put in a medically induced coma. Like, that is pretty bananas.
That is a comeback story if there ever was one. I mean, my goodness. Let's see here what we have. As we get ready for the Kevin Lee Gregor Gillespie fight. Kevin Lee, of course, 2 straight losses at UFC Rochester in May to Rafael Dos Anjos, submission, arm triangle choke, and of course to Al La Quinta at UFC Milwaukee. Iaquinta, I'm sorry. In UFC Milwaukee in December.
And an interesting stat about Ivanov, he upset Fedor Emelianenko in the 2008 World Sambo Championships, which is he beat Fedor. Even though it wasn't in an MMA match, he beat Fedor at Sambo, which is probably one of the biggest things you could do because in regards to Sambo practitioners, Fedor is one of the elite.
Wow.
As we have troubles with ESPN Plus, which of course we have problems with ESPN Plus. But we're getting things set up here. The first fight has not stepped inside the cage yet, and we are getting ready for UFC 244. Harry, let's take a look at the chat. Brandon Clark saying, ever since Johnny Walker did the worm and tore his shoulder, he hasn't been the same. That was his first fight back since tearing his shoulder, so we really can't make that much of a determination if he's the same fighter or not.
I mean, it's a silly injury, so I don't know psychologically if he had to battle back from it. You know, it's a weird one. He certainly didn't mention it much. You know, I mean, he's not going to, I guess. It didn't seem like it came up, but maybe he just lost his fight. I mean, that's it. It may not have anything to do with the shoulder, you know. But just a silly thing to happen to you. Of all the ways to get hurt, just planking. the worst one? The worst internet trend.
The viral trend of 2009. You get hurt doing that.
The only thing more embarrassing is if he was out because he got rickrolled. Like that would.
Or he got hit during the Kiki challenge, which was a thing from last year.
Oh my God! What's the worst? Your least favorite one? I didn't mind the rickroll one. The rickroll
Rickroll
one was funny.
fine.
Planking was dumb.
Planking was very dumb.
I mean, what is it? You just took a photo with the planking thing. The ice bucket challenge was good for.
Did it do anything?
For charity? Well, it raised money. I don't know if it's.
Did it? I don't know. Like that was the thing for me.
You know what? I didn't look into it. I don't work for 60 Minutes. I'm covering MMA here. I mean, it's not my job to bring down the charity, but I don't know. Maybe it's a Susan B. Coleman situation. I have no clue.
This coming in from Ariel Helwani. Trump just turned to the crowd to acknowledge them. Was met with noticeable cheers and very little boos.
He turned around, but he wasn't on the screen.
No.
This was in person. Okay.
Yes.
It depends here. As we try to reset our network here, you can try it on the phone. Maybe that might be a way to go for right now until we solve this situation. And again, Kevin Lee versus Gregor Gillespie, the fight coming up to start the main card. Let's see here. I'm going to rickroll injury. All right, thank you. The Harlem Shake was the best. Harlem Shake was fun. That wasn't too bad. I like that as an internet trend. Someone saying Fedor will be the greatest, will always be a GOAT. Yeah, but I mean, you know.
Corey Anderson saying, give me my title shot or give me my release. That's some gumption right there. As the video package for Kevin Lee and Gregor Gillespie is getting played right now. We're almost ready for our first fight. That's the weird thing about these these pay-per-views, is that they start the pay-per-view exactly at 10.
Right.
But for whatever reason, the first 13 minutes, we would love to be talking about face punching right now. I feel like you and I both would love to be talking about people getting punched in or around the face. But for whatever reason, they have to reset for everybody who's watching the pay-per-view, who they weren't watching the prelims, or they don't think we're watching the prelims, and then we have to do this song and dance for the first 15 minutes.
Yeah, we are 15 minutes in, and it is odd. I get you want to do some video packages and everything, but 15 minutes seems like a long time, seems like a waste, but whatever, we can't control it. A lot of interviews and stuff going on as we try to reset the package here. Let's see. Let us know about your internet trends, by the way. Your least and most favorites.
That's the phrase that pays this hour.
The internet
What's your
trends.
favorite internet trend? We're here live from the junkyard in the heart of Weehawken. We're here, Darren Terjanian right over here, Matt Ryan right here. If I talked in this voice for the remainder of the broadcast,
I would hang myself. Yeah, it's awful. It's awful. We use our real voices, whether you like them or not.
And Gregor Gillespie making his walk to the cage as he will come out. Gillespie, a 5-fight stoppage streak. He has stopped 5 straight opponents, living out on Long Island, born in Rochester, New York. And
representing the
opening
ROC, the Rock.
Ugh.
I don't know if that's what you call it. The Roach.
Not. Just the Roach. Someone asking how long we've been married. Harry's a very good friend.
We're
not married.
We're friends with benefits. Sloppy benefits.
The ribs, mainly. Ribs.
Yeah, mostly that. Mostly lunches.
And we, Lisa
Starlene
saying, I don't care. I don't mind the wait as long as you give me blow by blow, and we will be giving you the blow by blow.
Okay. Speaking of being married to each other, we're going to be giving you the blow by blow.
The opening package for UFC 244 referred to the main event as the baddest mother effer.
Yeah.
You're on pay-per-view. Say the word. Now the word #effer is trending. He was my favorite Rocco's Modern Life character. Effer.
I didn't love Rocco's Modern Life. I don't know why. That's one of those cartoons that depressed me. It depressed me. A lot of those British and Australian type cartoons always bum me out. Was it?
Yes.
Wasn't he Australian?
He was a Wallaby. Yeah.
Australia, New Zealand. Is it that different? Let's be honest.
Oh, don't get into that territory.
Whatever. I'm not gonna get into it. I'm sure it matters to you guys down there, but to the rest of us, we don't care. We don't know the difference. With your boomerangs.
And Kevin
your
Lee
shrimps on the Barbies.
making his way down to the cage right now.
Detroit, Michigan's own.
He's got 2 straight losses, as Harry said earlier. First to Rafael Dos Anjos, a submission arm triangle choke back in May at UFC Rochester, the home of Gregor Gillespie, and to Al Iaquinta at UFC Milwaukee back in December. His last win came in April of last year when he took out Edson Barbosa by TKO at UFC Atlantic City. And he's been in the UFC since 2014. His debut was a loss to Al Iaquinta at UFC 169. He's only been knocked out once in his pro career, which is at UFC 194 by Leandro Santos. As he steps into the ring, this fight is going to be fought at 155 pounds. Both men coming in at weight. A little bit of stats here from the ESPN Plus crew. Second most significant ground strikes in UFC lightweight history with 257. Tied for the second most finishes since 2015 in the UFC lightweight division with 6. And tied for third most wins since 2014 in the UFC. And
getting oiled up here. It's always my favorite part of every UFC fight.
And according to fans, Dominic Cruz is being accused of overdosing on goofy reels on commentary, which is good for the SBN MMA business because you get the Mary Terjanian Power Hour right here for free on the SBN MMA channel. That's right. Tell your friends if they pay $55 like we did and they don't want to hear John Anik, Joe Rogan, and Dominic Cruz, they can hear from me and Harry, which is probably an equitable comparison when you think about it.
It's not bad. I've been called the poor man's Joe Rogan. Let's see here. They tail of the tape. The reach advantage,
Kevin
77 to 71.
Kevin Lee has a 6-inch reach advantage. Gregor Gillespie kind of looks like if Conor McGregor's cousin got into fighting. A lot of the same tattoos that he's got that top knot Conor had for a little while, like a few years ago. That's a very Long Island thing.
Bruce Buffer going with the maroon jacket tonight. I'm digging it.
Someone asking, do I still get my royalties from my role as Yukon Cornelius? I am the third in the generation of Corneliuses. Actually, Ryan is a stage name. It is my real name is Yukon Cornelius V.
Well, at least you know your dad. That's good.
I didn't say that.
Oh, that's awkward. Awkward. Sorry.
He's a lumberjack. He was in the forest all the time.
He made his way through.
Yeah. Made his way downtown, walking fast, thinking slow, and he's home now.
Papa was a Rolling Stone.
And Gillespie, the minus 150 favorite for those who like to indulge in gambling.
Anyone coming out to the new Kanye deserves to lose, says Brandon Clark.
This coming in from Normal, the social czar. Gregor, now the most famous Gillespie since Dizzy. And that's coming to from our sponsor, dumbjokes.com. Dumbjokes.com. When you need material, you go to dumbjokes.com.
What is that on Lee's chest over there?
That would be.
Look at the pimple. Is that a scar? Or
that is a pimple.
That is a
gigantic pimple.
Oh, that's gross. Oh, if they punch out that pimple like Ken Shamrock's ear blew up.
Oh.
When he was fighting, who was he fighting for that one? Was it? I forget. I don't even remember who he was fighting. That nobody thought to pop that pimple? His chest has like the gnarliest, biggest pimple.
The New York State Athletic Commission, which I have dealt with numerous times in my life, canceled the fight because of chapped lips. And Kevin Lee walking in there with either a pimple, a blister, or low-grade MRSA is allowed to fight. Here we go. Round 1 of the main card. And a little bit of trades, 2 right hands from Gillespie and Lee. Lee trying to land. Gillespie keeping distance, trying to evade the reach. He's going to try to find a way to get inside. A right hand by Gillespie. Left hand combinations here coming from both fighters as they dance around center octagon. Now trying to go for a takedown. Gillespie did not get a chance to go for that single leg. Both back up to a vertical base. Both a little hunched down in their stances, a little compact like Rock'em Sock'em robots. Looking to throw here in the early going. Just over 30 seconds gone by, round 1.
And so far just standing up, squaring off.
Lee with a left. Both men just trading strikes here. Gillespie landing with a shot to the face. Right on the nose. Lee trying to go for a 1-2. Doesn't land.
The pimple is still intact.
Gillespie looking very much like a latter-day Kid Cash. Left hand. A lot of striking and pacing here. Lee trying to use his reach, but coming up a little bit short against the older and on a hot streak Gregor Gillespie. It looks like Lee's a little uncomfortable there, a little redness around the nose after that shot by Gillespie.
And another one by Gillespie landing.
An uppercut misses.
Ooh, but Lee gets a couple in there. But Gillespie punches right back, and they're still squaring off in the center of the octagon.
Right hand by Lee. Battling back here, 3:30 left to go in round one of the opening fight of the UFC 244 main card.
And Brandon Clark suggesting that he pop his own pimple to throw off Gregor.
And we got a little bit of a scrum here.
And still,
Lee almost went for a
trading
takedown.
punches back and forth here.
Tried to grab the back of Gillespie's head. High kick, going for the head. Missing completely.
Someone suggesting it might be staph. I can't imagine that the New York Athletic Commission didn't try to check that out.
Who knows? Low right hand to the body. Lee he's got a cut and a contusion underneath his left eye after the two-piece served to him by Gillespie. 2:49 left to go in the first round. This coming in from Terrazetta, Kevin's new nickname, Kevin the Pimple Lee. And
Again,
now both
still going back and
still
forth.
pacing. Gillespie really controlling the momentum of this fight. Hit a leg kick. And blocking Lee's shots, just checking them. Checking those left hands from Lee. Going for the face. Right hand. Quick strikes from both men.
Ooh.
Gillespie with a left uppercut. Pardon me, with a hook. Checking the chin of Lee. Another one. High kick. And he's down. It is over. Gregor Gillespie. Left kick. Cemetery. Kevin Lee finds a way to get back on the winner board and gives Gregor Gillespie his first loss after Lee was getting pieced up by the Long Islander.
From out of nowhere, they were trading punches back and forth, and then quickly with that left kick.
Hot damn!
Wow. Wow, incredible.
Gillespie collapsed like the economy in 2008. It was bad.
Congratulations on not doing the collapsing joke that would have got us in trouble.
Yeah.
The classy, you
Like
went with the classy one.
Like the Metrodome? The Metrodome?
Yeah, you're closer. We're
And
trying to keep our jobs here.
Kevin Lee with his first win since April of last year, which was a TKO by Edson Barbosa. Here's the replay again.
Oh, wow,
Lee,
they traded punches
a
back
left-
and forth. He missed.
He lands with a right hand, leads him into that leg kick, that head kick, and just collapses him.
Just the perfect motion. Gillespie missing the left hook. Lee landing a punch and then that left kick, and he was out cold.
Oh, good call by Mergliata. Let's watch this again.
Ooh!
Oh, it's just that quick right hand into that left kick. Just bang, bang.
And I've never seen someone knocked out so quickly.
And you know what?
Now showing the replay of Joe Rogan calling it.
That was, Lee expected to show these off after training with Freya Sahabi and George St. Pierre at TriStar up in Montreal, and that paid off. Training with two of the best, one of the best trainers, one of the best coaches, and one of the best fighters in mixed martial arts, just completely drops him.
Just one of the that kick so quick, so vicious. Again, knocked out midair. I mean, you can see him.
You could, much like Ralph Wiggum,
out.
you can see the exact moment
where
Gregor
breaks.
Gillespie's upward trajectory just gets caught. And now they're going to make the official decision. Mergliata and Lee in frame. Gillespie still being looked at by the doctors. And for Gillespie, this was a coming out party moment for him.
Wow.
Being able to fight in Madison Square Garden, growing up in Rochester, living out on Long Island, training, trying to become one of the biggest in the lightweight division, another deep division inside the UFC, and to deal with this.
Joe Rogan going to interview Kevin Lee. He's saying he needed to make a statement. His back was against the wall. He wanted to put on a show. Joe Rogan saying he made a statement even in taking this fight. Joe Rogan saying he came out with a very low stance, anticipating the wrestling, asking him what the game plan was for Kevin Lee during this fight.
Second most finishes in the UFC lightweight division.
Not underestimate him. He's the most decorated wrestler.
And
so he took him very, very seriously.
And Harry, this coming in, via the instant feedback. With the victory, Trump has anointed Kevin Lee as the chief of staff.
Wow. Oh, with that pimple.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gross. And watching the replay, right hand to the temple, perfect left. High kick. Ooh, in slow motion, you see his jaw and face just move, and that beautiful head of hair collapses. Oh, and I forget he got
that hammer fist in
before the ref could step in.
Lee's just his third knockout win for Lee in 18 career victories. This is his third by way of knockout.
Kevin Lee saying the victory is satisfying, but he's not ready to celebrate. And he wants to do this again. And he's giving credit to Joe Rogan for telling him to switch things up. And he wants to make another statement before he even talks about a title shot. So pretty good. Kevin Lee.
That was one hell of a fight, one hell of a statement.
One hell of
Kevin
a finish,
Lee.
yeah.
And when you look at that 155-pound division and you see Tony Ferguson, obviously the next contender for Khabib Nurmagomedov. And there he is. Nick Diaz is in Madison Square Garden watching the fights. His brother about to fight. Nate Diaz calling Nick Diaz the greatest fighter ever. The greatest combat spats athlete ever yesterday during the UFC 244 weigh-ins.
I wish I got along with my brother like that. Damn. I don't he's not the greatest at anything. Except making kids. He's got 3 of them.
3 in a row?
And I'm older than him. Well, what do you mean in a row? That's the only way you could do it.
Really?
Yeah, what do you mean in a row?
I went to New York City public school. They didn't teach us that.
I mean, in a row with the same woman. Yeah, I guess he didn't go for a break. Hey, did I tell you my uncle Elvis, Eduardo, a.k.a. Elvis, 2 kids, both named Elvis Jr., separate women. 2 kids named Eduardo Jr.
Is your uncle George Foreman?
Not that bad. Those are separate women. At least George has had with the same woman. And also, we'd always call him, my cousin Chris would always refer to him, the older one, as the OG. Let's talk to Junior. We're like, which one? The OG, the original gangster. Some Ecuadorian
and folks,
family planning there for you.
If you're enjoying the content, please make sure to give us a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button. And
Absolutely.
Also, there's a little donate button. You see that at the bottom of your chat screen, there's a dollar bill. There's a money sign. If you would like to give us money, we would love you for it. If you don't want to give us money, we understand.
I don't. I don't understand why you wouldn't want to give us money. We know the type of things you buy on the internet. Come on, don't act like you haven't wasted your money on some nonsense on Amazon.
Like the Daniel Bryan in a pumpkin suit that we have behind us.
I found that at Kmart. I passed on that purchase 2 different times.
And then Stephanie Sotilli.
Stephanie Sotilli was disappointed, and for Christmas, I made that happen.
And ever since then, Stephanie Sotilli, our roommate, our best friend, and Harry's riding partner.
Absolutely.
In The Unwanted, we've made an effort here in the junkyard to dress Daniel Bryan up in appropriate holiday-based clothing. And there's Daniel. Say hi, Daniel.
There's DJ Daniel Bryan. And yes, if you're saying, are these actual baby clothes? Yes, they are. They're real baby clothes that Stephanie insists on buying. And this is the Halloween theme. It's November 1st. Shame on us. We have not changed it yet. We got to do
if we were like any other outlet in the world, it would be in Christmas-based attire. But not just yet.
We got to do Pilgrim or Native American or Columbus.
And for those Strike Force OGs who remember Nashville, Gilbert Melendez is also in the front row next to Nick Diaz. And if there's any extracurricular activity, they're just a hop, skip, and a jump to the cage. The possibility of a Nashville, oh my God. The Diaz brothers and Donald Trump are in the same building. It's going to be Nashville 2 Electric Boogaloo.
Oh my God.
We might have a riot tonight. I don't know why riots excite me.
I heard Andrew Galata was also attending the fight. Also,
we always come back to riots.
Axl Rose is there with a sore throat. And Meta World Peace is showing up, so anything can happen. Anything can happen. It is Madison Square Garden. Go watch, when you're done with this fight tonight, with this card, go watch the Andrew Galata Riddick Bowe.
We talk about this every show. Every show we talk about Galata Bowe. We talk about Galata Bowe, and I'm going to ask our overlords, can we do a video breaking down Galata versus Bo?
Well, we'll see if we can make it happen. Not tonight.
Let us not get fired first. If we cannot get fired first.
There's a lot going on tonight. In addition to UFC, we got the fight tonight.
We got Canelo Kovalev.
Which they're delaying purposely till after the UFC card. Smart move.
And I love watching Canelo Alvarez fight, but I just... this coming in from our boss, Galata versus Nope.
Oh, wow. All
right. Big no on that one. Well, not a big fan of Polish street thugs. You heard about that? Like, he couldn't go back to Poland for a while.
Why was that now?
Because he got into a bar fight.
In Poland?
Yes.
In Poland.
He ended up becoming a trucker in Chicago.
Wow. I heard he joined the Polish Navy, but the submarine sank because they had screen doors. Is that true? It's not true? I don't know. I'm hearing on the... Well, we'll find out. He did take a job changing light bulbs. He was the third man in the light bulb because two of them have to turn the ladder. Right? There we go. I don't know why Polish jokes ever took off, why it was Polish people. Those jokes could be about anybody. As we move on to the next fight, Lewis versus Ivanov.
And Ivanov looking like someone you don't... So let's go into the Ivanov story, because I was doing research for this show this morning, and I looked up his Wikipedia page as a journalist.
Sure, as you're known to do. What?
And in the early morning of February 26, 2012, a group of 8 men entered a bar called Ice in Sofia, Bulgaria, and attacked Ivanov and 2 of his friends. Ivanov was stabbed below the sternum and a lung was damaged. He fought off all the attackers with a damaged lung and hailed a cab to the hospital. He was in intensive care for 6 hours after a life-saving medical intervention. His condition was stabilized, but the suspect, a 23-year-old nicknamed The Dumbbell, with a long criminal record, was charged with the stabbing. Ivanov had to be put in a medically induced coma, and he was put in the coma in March 2012, and he was out of it in May. Like, it was between March, he was out for 2 months in an induced coma.
Oof.
And he was able to kind of regain the ability to talk. He gave a press conference.
How long ago was this again?
This is in 2012.
Jeez.
And he returned MMA in September 2013 and won his next 4 fights. That's insane. Brandon Clark checking in. I wish I would have read his Wikipedia before betting on Lewis.
Oh,
fair point. You got to do your research. We got the research for you. If you can get those last-minute bets in, we'd suggest you do it now. And Corey Anderson right now, after the dancing celebration of a man he just decimated inside the Octagon, is apologizing for all the falderall and chicanery that occurred after the fight.
Okay. Interesting. He got lost in the momentum, I guess. I didn't even know that one was that personal. Was it leading up to it? I don't even remember
It was more of just him trying to make a statement, because Walker was kind of the weird golden boy for a lot of that. Brandon Clark saying amazing journalism. Thank you. Yes, Wikipedia, the source for all modern journalism. At least that's what my professor said.
Your professor, Dr. Vinny Bubatz?
Yes, Professor Vinny Bubatz. And Ivanov was inside of that time frame from coming back to mixed martial arts, won the PFL and World Series of Fighting Heavyweight Championships and left the organization for the UFC before the advent of their current format. Lost his UFC debut to Junior Dos Santos, which is, nothing to snuff at. JDS is former world champion, one of the toughest athletes in mixed martial arts. He's got a 2-fight win streak right now with wins over Tai Tuivasa and Ben Rothwell, both by decision. And he was in Bellator from 2013 to 2014 when he came back after the stabbing. He's gotten 6 wins by knockout, 6 by submission, and as we said, back-to-back wins at heavyweight inside the UFC. And he is a record of 18-2-0, no draws, but 1 no contest. Derek Lewis, a similar record, 21 wins, 7 losses, no draws, and 1 no contest. And this is Derek Lewis returning to Madison Square Garden for the first time since losing by submission to Daniel Cormier a year ago at UFC 230. at the UFC's annual MSG event. And I gotta say, I love Derek Lewis.
Yeah,
He's one of my favorite fighters.
I like the look here of Ivanov. Just he has that badass knot in shape, badass look.
That Tank Abbott.
Like not chiseled by any means, but you do not want to mess with him.
He's a problem.
Yeah.
You see him and he's a
You
problem.
see in his face he's a problem, and then you know the backstory, and you're like, yeah, he's a problem. He is dangerous. And as Derek Lewis makes his way with a torn ACL previously, recovering from that surgery.
And hopefully this fight is better than his fight against Francis Ngannou, which was statistically, and basically everybody on the internet said it, the worst fight in UFC heavyweight history. This includes Tank Abbott. This includes a litany of other fighters in Tank Abbott. If I'm just saying that for a joke. Please don't hurt me. Please don't hurt me.
We love you, Tank.
Yes, a big fan of 3 count. We're big fans of 3 count.
Excellent.
We watched the TRL on MTV. Everybody 3 count.
It was great. 3 count was fantastic. I missed that gimmick. Look up Tank Abbott 3 count. When Tank Abbott in WCW World Championship Wrestling was part of the boy band 3 count.
Yes.
Just underrated gimmick.
Yeah, it was
3 count
fun.
was great.
It
It was the mid '90s. It was all the rage.
Derek Lewis tied for most knockouts in UFC history with 10. 10 knockouts. Second most ground strike knockouts in UFC history with 6. And has finished 19 of his 21 wins, 18 by way of knockout.
Derek Lewis, Brandon Clark saying Derek Lewis, the funniest guy in UFC by far.
Yeah, I would say that. Known for his UFC 229, my balls was hot.
That was a
walk-off knockout. Like
then losing the fight right after, unfortunately. Yeah. But he was great to take that fight short notice.
But he took that fight short notice, riding a wave of momentum and
I get it.
Fan love.
And just the inexperience, I guess, getting him. Someone saying that Ivanov looks like a kebab guy. That's not one I would mess with. Say that to his face. Here we go. The tail of the tape. 79-inch.
A big reach advantage. Derek Lewis weighing in at the heavyweight limit of 265 pounds.
And a big height advantage too. 6'3" versus Ivanov, who's 5'11".
But yet again, Ivanov, with that background, with his ability, if he's able to get Lewis to the ground, this fight, I think, completely changes. Lewis has finished 18 of his fights. He's good on the ground. He's got the second most in the ground knockouts in UFC history. But you're going up against a guy who beat Fedor and Sambo. That's, when it comes to wrestling, when it comes to tactician work, when it comes to grappling, that right there is a big bona fide.
Ivanov representing Bulgaria with pride. I'm glad they still allow the flags. I know they don't allow the banners anymore.
Well, we talked about the MMA Mania Twitter talked about this a few months ago. They got the conspiracy theory right now, and this is not a highly talked about conspiracy theory. Oh, boy. Is that one of the reasons with the Reebok deal they got rid of those sponsor banners? Right. Was because Dana White owns a flag making business. And instead of that,
when you say MMA Mania report, do you mean Matthew Ryan reported it?
No, the Twitter guy reported it.
Whoever's in charge of Twitter.
Yeah, whoever's in charge of the Twitter, yeah.
It's highly suspicious.
I'm just, you're a journalist, the Twitter guy's a journalist.
Okay, that's a conspiracy theory. I actually saw Nate Diaz in the bathroom at the Whole Foods last night.
But we don't know if Dana White may have
I couldn't take a picture of it, so I can't prove it, but it would have been awkward if I tried to take a picture of Nate Diaz at the urinal at Whole Foods. I wouldn't be here tonight.
And it's here we go.
To say. No, Nate.
Round 1, Ivanov versus Lewis.
I'm a journalist, Nate. Please don't hit me in the bathroom.
Ivanov backing up near the octagon wall, near the cage. Lewis using his reach to keep Ivanov at bay. The 5th-ranked heavyweight Derek Lewis going up against the 8th-ranked Blagoy Ivanov.
And a feeling out period here. No punches thrown yet in the first 20 seconds. And USA being chanted by the fans.
Lewis pulling a kick.
American patriotism. I don't believe we have any problems with Bulgaria. They're fine people.
Missing the body kick. Doing a bit of a jog here. A little bit of slow getting out of the blocks here. Lewis respecting Ivanov's grappling and Ivanov respecting Lewis's ability to knock him into 33rd Street.
A lot of patience being shown here by Lewis.
At some point, I may yell, just hit him. And there we go, body kick caught. A big risk by Lewis, trying to fight the
Ivanov.
takedown. He's down. Ivanov on top.
Oh, boy. And Lewis is on his back. Ivanov looking to take advantage here. Just grabbed that leg and slowly dragged him down like an alligator pulling in a hippopotamus.
And now Lewis trying to control from the bottom here.
Side control.
Side control applied by Ivanov near the wall of the octagon. Nowhere near the fence, but near the wall. And now trying to lock in a Kimura is Ivanov.
I don't know if he has the...
He doesn't have it, but he's trying to go for it. Strike to the body by Ivanov.
Kick to the ribs. Lewis
Elbow to the head, trying to slip out.
Lewis makes it to the side of the cage here, going to try to push off.
He can't lock his toes in, and he finds a way. He rolls out.
He pushes off the cage, rolls up, both of them on their feet. Now Lewis going for the attack.
Needed a body uppercut by Lewis, and we got ourselves a fight.
Both of them back up to their feet.
Head kick. Lewis gets caught by Ivanov with a right hand after that leg kick, that head kick, pardon me, by Lewis.
Ivanov gets him in a bear hug by the cage there, trying to slow down, stop those kicks from happening.
Interlocking the fingers in a waist lock, trying to go for a throw here, trying to throw maybe a hip toss by Ivanov, but once again, Lewis gets him to the cage, gets him right against the fence as Lewis tries to push off here, knee strike by Ivanov with his left leg and a takedown by Ivanov, but he's on...
lock.
He's got him in a face lock, but he's on the bottom here, trying to get back up, maybe trying to readjust, maybe go into mount or side control, as Lewis battling back here, trying to find an answer to this grappler, Ivanov.
And they're both back up on their feet here. Lewis has him against the cage. And just, both of them look tired now from this. They both gave a lot of effort here, but now they're both sort of tired up against the cage. Lewis
2:07 left to go.
Pushing him up against the cage here. Oof. Whoa, that knee from Ivanov. And again, Lewis still holding on, though. And Ivanov punching, side punches to the head.
Trying to go at it here. Against the fence, going for another face lock. Maybe trying to go for a Darce choke. Is Ivanov. Lewis trying to press off.
1:40 still left in this first round.
And now Ivanov looking like he lost a little bit of gas here.
Both of them look gassed.
They're heavy breathing. They gave it their all. This is a sprint, not a marathon in this first round. Under 90 seconds now in round one.
They're both trying to get positioning here, and they both look tired out. It's a tremendous amount of energy. This is a heavyweight fight.
Well, yes, welcome to the heavyweight division, folks, where the stamina doesn't matter, and everybody's going for dingers. It's like going to watch Babe Ruth or baseball in 1998.
Lewis missing that punch. Well, Ivanov ducked. 1 minute left in this first round here. And they're both just sort of bear hugging. It's like Godzilla versus Mothra. Oof.
Needle midsection by Lewis. Now throwing hands. Lands an uppercut. Goes for a straight strike. And now they go back to the middle. And both feinting punches here. 40 seconds, under a minute to go in round number one.
In the center of the octagon.
We might actually get a fight here in this card that goes past the first round.
Again,
Lewis
feeling each other out the same way they started this fight. Coming full circle. Each of them sort of waiting to see who makes the first mistake here. Again, no punches thrown in like the last 30 seconds. 15 seconds left in the first round. Ivanov goes for it.
Also, a front face lock is a wrestling term. We apologize for the wrestling people. We know it's a Darce choke. He was in a position for a Darce choke, but it was similar to a face lock. He was locking him by the neck.
Listen, I've never claimed to be an expert. I'm just a journalist.
You did about 10 minutes ago. That's the end of round one.
What?
And both men will survive the round. You did say, I'm the best expert in MMA. I'm the fanciest man in all the fancy land. And
that is on my business card. And the corner telling Lewis, needing to breathe here. He does not want Derek kicking. He was caught with 2 kicks twice. He can't kick naked, his corner's telling him. 2-piece wins this fight. Stay out of his lead leg. And stick the jab in his face and throw that right hand. Saying that Ivanov is very timid. And that kick, they're showing the replay, Derek Lewis throws the kick. 2 different times he threw a kick, and Ivanov grabbed him and dragged him to the ground.
And I can see why Lewis was trying to go there, trying to test his reach.
No doubt.
But he doesn't throw him with any expediency.
Well, he is a heavyweight. Again, just did not get He landed the kicks both times, but Ivanov just caught him. He didn't pull
Brendan
back.
Clark giving it 10-9 to Lewis. I would say it's more. I could give the round to Lewis because he found a way out of the scrambles, but you could see it going 10-9 either way.
Taking him down 2 different times.
Here we go, round 2 getting started. Both men going back to the middle. Ivanov trying to feint some punches, trying to not fall within the distance of Lewis's reach. It's the 5th-ranked heavyweight against the 8th-ranked heavyweight.
And no punches thrown here.
Be sure to give us a thumbs up if you like what's going on. Be sure to subscribe to the MMA SBN YouTube channel. And now, once again, trying to keep distance. Ivanov went for a left hand, missed. Another left hand, and he misses. Once again, trying to go for it. And Lewis catching him again, and now he's in control of the grapple. Now, Ivanov, both men interlocking their fingers. Maybe a belly-to-belly suplex, Harry. You might get some Magnum TA.
Listen.
Trying to go for a trip. Was Lewis trying to maybe go for a hip toss or a quick single leg trip? But getting Ivanov back to the cage. Right hand misses with the uppercut in the clinch, and they go back to center octagon.
Again, sort of feeling each other out here. See who makes the first mistake again. Every time they reset, they go right back to the middle. And both of them taking their time here.
Heading East 33 saying Ivanov is really dangerous, but you never know. And there, we saw it in the first fight. Kevin Lee just landing that kick straight out of the gates of hell.
It was an even fight until that point.
And Lewis with his walk-off against at UFC 239, the reason why he ascended to the heights of the heavyweight division was because of that knockout. And another uppercut. Now battling in the middle. Ivanov on wobbly legs. And here comes Lewis. Lewis is down. He gets right back up, landing prodigious punches. Left, right. And he's trying to take Ivanov down, and both men back up standing.
And Lewis is gassed. Lewis is gassed from that.
He gave it all, and there's a quick takedown by Ivanov. And now the Bulgarian in control.
Putting his forearm across his throat.
Right across the throat. And now pushing that elbow into the jaw of Lewis. Lewis's mouth, it looks like he might have gotten cut or lacerated. Ivanov now trying to go for a Kimura.
And he's got it more positioning this time. Really dangerous for Lewis.
But Lewis trying to find a way to battle back. Ivanov not in a good enough position.
He's bending it farther and further. We're very close.
2:42 left in the round. Ivanov, the former World Series of Fighting and PFL champion, trying to get the win inside Madison Square Garden.
And he twists the wrist. Ivanov twists the wrist to get better position. He's going to get it.
He might get this one here. No, but Lewis finds a way out, and they're back to the feet. And Lewis trying to land strikes, and he's going right after Ivanov. Two-piecing him. Ivanov is bleeding right underneath his left eye. It looks like he's crying blood inside the octagon.
And back to the center of the octagon again, resetting. A dangerous position for Lewis. Lewis, now he's just throwing slow kicks.
He's just trying to regroup.
Mocking kicks.
No, he's feinting. He's checking his reach and his distance. Under 2 minutes now in round 2. Thank you, heading east for the sub and the like. And now fans evenly splitting our chat as it's 148 left to go.
An amazing fight to start off UFC 244.
Jinx, you owe me some alcohol. Double underhook supplied now by Ivanov, getting Lewis against the cage. 21 significant strikes landed by Lewis, only 11 by Ivanov.
And again, sort of a bear hug here with a knee to the chest here by Ivanov, but Lewis holding on.
Right hand. He almost connected with that right hand, and now the referee trying to get Derek off the cage.
Why, though? I don't understand. I didn't see what there was.
Trying to keep him active. 1:10 left to go.
They were still active.
Round number 2. Big knee to the face of Ivanov in the clinch. And Lewis landing a right hand. Swung hard and missed. And now Ivanov bleeding profusely. Both eyes in trouble, starting to get swollen.
But back to the center of the octagon. Again, the two reset. 52 minutes left in the second round of this heavyweight fight.
52 seconds, not minutes. If there were 52 minutes left in this round, both men would be dead.
I told you, I'm not an expert. And also, I think there's a lot of fumes that I've been inhaling. When's WrestleMania start? Here we go.
Hand by Ivanov, but getting back into the clinch.
Thank you for joining us for this Murphy Brown fan watch-along that we're here.
27 seconds left to go in the round.
27 seconds left in this episode of Frasier. I've had several concussions
Knee
today.
in the midsection by Lewis, trying to give Ivanov some tossed salad and scrambled eggs.
A hip toss. Judo-style hip toss.
Taking the leg out. Ivanov with 10 seconds left to go in the round.
And he does not have a front face lock because that would be wrestling, but whatever this is, it's similar.
And he's looking to survive. Here is Lewis trying to survive. And we go to the third round.
Incredible.
What the hell?
Who would you give that round to?
I would give that round to Lewis. He was the one controlling the distance. He was the one controlling the fight. Ivanov had a good showing at the end.
Almost had him with the Kimura lock. Obviously, that's not enough to get the points in the round.
Lewis coming in, he was the aggressor. He was the one who landed more punches. If you're looking at it statistically, I would give that round to Lewis. Right now, I would have this at 2 rounds apiece. This third round is that round.
Okay. All right. And it's Ivanov's corner here. Telling him to breathe in. And they're trying to fix a cut over his right eye here.
And Derek Lewis is actually, this coming in, this was just voted by the MMA Journalist Society of Authentic Journalism. Lewis is the king of randomly standing up and throwing bombs. So it just out of nowhere. If you watch that episode of The Simpsons where they had the Mafia and Pretzels, he's the white-suited Yakuza of the heavyweight division. You just got to watch. You can't take your eyes off him because something's going to happen.
I mean, this is a really great fight to start off UFC 244. And Derek Lewis coming in there with Vaseline eyebrows. They put a lot of Vaseline on
But
there.
that's a UFC cut, man. It's not a member of his corner. And Lewis just starting with a right hand, misses and gets caught by Ivanov as we are 10 seconds in.
A change of pace to start the round.
Shout out to Terrazetta, already subscribed, wanting to subscribe again. Hit that donate button at the bottom of the chat. Send us some of that money. We may get like 10 cents of it. But right now, both men pacing, trying to keep distance. 4:30 left to go in round number 3. And Lewis trying to keep pace. You can see both men laboring, tired. A lot of fight of the night, stoppages of the night, performance of the night bonuses being tallied here inside MSG. As Lewis, both men slow here, trying to get... I think we're going to get 90 seconds of hell. I think both of these guys are going to try to find their rhythm and then go 90 seconds straight out. 3:57 now. Lewis feigning a right hand. Ivanov pacing, trying to get inside, but Lewis keeping distance. Back against the cage, he'll fight his way out. Ivanov once again throwing a couple of strikes, nothing really landing. 3:43 now left to go in the third and final round.
Back and forth here. Again, a feeling out process, the same way the other rounds have started. Back in the center of the octagon, the two of them going, just, again, seeing who will make the first mistake. And a couple times Lewis did it in the first round for sure, throwing 2 kicks, but Ivanov pushing forward.
And shout out to Andy Millsaps, who just donated $2 as Ivanov getting Lewis against the cage. And shout out to Daniel Perez watching from Spain. Buenas noches, Daniel. And this is another takedown attempt by Ivanov. Nothing going there. Lewis keeps it standing and interlocking. He's got one arm. Now both going for a clinch, making Ivanov, the referee making sure Ivanov not holding on to the octagon to try to maintain position. Good move by the official. 2:48 left to go in round number 3.
And again, the both of them looking very tired, but now again, another bear hug sort of grappling.
Welcome to heavyweight fighting, my man.
And Ivanov goes for another judo toss, but
you know what I want to see? I want to watch Derek Lewis and Andy Ruiz Jr. just have a fight or a hot dog eating contest.
And also, you got to wonder, what is the condition of Derek Lewis's balls?
Yes.
Are they hot?
They're in fuego right now. They're hot. They are very hot. Missing that uppercut did Lewis, trying to swing wild, and we're getting closer to the 2-minute mark. 2:09 now left to go in the round. Right hand by Ivanov. In the thick of it here, in the second fight of the main card of UFC 244, Matt Ryan, Harry Terjanian inside the junkyard here in Weehawken. Left hand missed by Ivanov. Inside the Chubby Sotilli Memorial Studio as they go back to center octagon.
Again,
trying to keep
pawing
distance.
Pawing at each other here. No punches thrown for the last 10 seconds. Lewis goes for one. A knee on Ivanov as well.
Trying to go for that takedown. Caught Ivanov. Has him in trouble. He's got Lewis in trouble. Maybe try to go for a Kimura or maybe a quick submission. Maybe that bulldog choke, that tap that made Robbie Lawler pass out back in February. Uppercut. And here we go. Minute 18 left to go. In the final round, both men back standing.
And again, Ivanov gets the positioning now, pushes Lewis up against the cage. They're both pushing back and forth, sumo style almost. But they're both sort of gassed here. They're both still throwing punches, though. And Ivanov sort of positioning himself. I think he's going to go for another judo toss. If that's the proper term, I don't think it is.
It's a takedown. Just a takedown.
Over the hip
toss.
Hip toss. That's a wrestling term. I'm scared to use the wrestling term lest I be judged.
Sweetheart, you're already being judged.
It's the internet. I knew what I was getting into here. Here we go. And again, lumbering, 40 seconds left. The two of them. Ooh, Derek Lewis.
36 seconds. Lewis against the cage. Trying to go for that Muay Thai clinch. Needed a midsection. Almost landed an elbow to the eye of Ivanov. Not truly landing here.
26 seconds left in the final round here. So wrestling separation and back to the center of the cage. Center of the octagon.
16 seconds. We might see a walk-off here. Both men going at it. Uppercut by Lewis. Going for the strikes. 10 seconds now. Lewis pouring it on against the octagon again. Throws a big right hand. Lewis trying to finish the fight. Battling through and going for a knee. And this one will go to the scorecards.
Wow. An incredible first fight. UFC 244. Derek Lewis and Volgoy Ivanov. What a performance. What a fight. One of the most unique fights I've ever seen.
Kevin Lee starting the card off with a 2-minute drill, and both of these guys going back and forth. It was the ice ball here tonight. Both guys, it was a battle of attrition.
Ooh, watching the highlights and Derek Lewis landing a lot of strikes.
And that beautiful hip toss by Ivanov, just a beautiful judo throw. That sambo technique there.
And Lewis tried to finish that last round off heavily, knew there was 10 seconds left, and gave it all he had. But Ivanov's just managing to slip away, took a couple of those shots. What a great fight. And
Harry,
eating punch after punch.
Going to your unofficial scorecard, Harold Letterman, how do we see it?
I got to tell you, I got to be honest with you. I don't know much about MMA. I'm a boxing guy. The last fight I was at was Galata Riddick.
Jim.
I made it out alive. I wasn't escorted on a stretcher like Lou Duba was. Mm-hmm. But I did watch George Foreman punch out a college kid with a backwards baseball cap. I scored 57-91 Ivanov. Is that the right thing?
Ivanov landing 59 strikes to Lewis's 37, but all of the strikes that Lewis threw were significant strikes.
Yeah.
He threw 37 strikes and they were all significant. What is that stat?
I mean, they were heavy punches. I don't know. He missed a lot of them. So how does that count towards it? You know,
I don't know, but let's go to the scorecards. Harry, let us know how the judges score this.
Here we go. I think it's going to be a split decision, I would assume. Bruce Buffer, after 3 rounds, the judges' scorecards for decision. 30-27 to Lewis. 29-28 to Ivanov. 29-28 for the winner by split decision.
Derek Lewis! Derek Lewis, that 30-27 is a weird scorecard. I would have given it 30-29, Lewis.
And Ivanov makes a beeline out of the cage.
I would be if I heard 30-27.
Here we go.
Harry, you tell the folks what's going on. I'll be right back in a second.
Here we go. Joe Rogan asking what kind of an impact. Derek Lewis giving credit to his team. It was just giving. He is winded. He is huffing and puffing and gave it. And a shout out to Donald Trump. And saying that everything's going good in the White House, but he's got to turn everything around in 2020. Very confusing, but I don't take political advice from people who get punched in the head. Here we go. And Derek Lewis saying that he was trying to hit him in the booty hole that he has on his chest. That's right. I didn't make that one up. That's an exact quote. Trying to hit him. And then we have closed captioning on, which is great because whoever is writing closed caption had to write the words "booty hole." This is MMA, and you don't get this anywhere else, and that's why it's the greatest sport. Well, second greatest in professional wrestling. Derek Lewis, Matt, saying that throughout the fight he was attempting to hit Ivanov in the booty hole on his chest. I don't know if he's referencing the scar that he has on his chest.
I believe he's talking about the knife wound.
The knife
that
wound
we talked about earlier. Hey, and Evan M., how's it going out there? How's everybody else doing? Hey, there's Valentina Shevchenko. Ooh, she dyed her hair.
Going with orange.
If someone can get me Valentina Shevchenko's number. Now, I'm not saying I'd marry her. I'm just saying,
You'd make it uncomfortable for her current relationship by stalking her. I got you. I hear you.
Let's take a look at the
chat.
chat.
Shoot your shot.
How's everybody doing out there?
Derek Lewis, never disappointing.
No. God bless Derek Lewis.
Also shouted out Donald Trump and then said things had to turn around in 2020. Again, the second craziest thing he said in his own post-fight interview. Derek Lewis, never disappointing.
And coming
one
up
of my
next,
favorites.
We're 2 fights away, folks, from BMF goodness. We're 2 fights away. It's Stephen Thompson versus Vicente Luque. I want to talk to you guys right now in the chat. How are you guys enjoying the show so far? Let us know. Hit that like button. Hit the subscribe button. We want to know if we're Ed Koch. How we doing?
How am I doing?
How we doing?
How am I doing?
You know, I worked for Ed Koch.
Did you work for
Ed
Koch?
I was his associate producer for his radio show.
He had a radio show on what, Bloomberg Radio?
Yeah. I was the last producer he ever had. Like
he passed away.
Yeah,
he passed away while you were working for him?
Yeah, working for Bloomberg. Yeah, while I was working in radio, he passed away.
So look, obviously it's morbid, but you're like, when you find out he passes away, do you get excited because it's a day off? Like,
no,
because that's how radio people are. I work in radio.
Radio people are horrible people.
Yeah, you just want the day off, whatever it was.
And a shout out to Andrew Smith, who just donated $2 to the cause. Thank you so much, Andrew, and thank you so much everyone who's spending their Saturday, Sunday, wherever you are, whatever time it is.
And remember to set your clocks back, by the way, letting you know that it's important.
Is that still a thing?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. You're going to find out it's a thing where you're late to work.
No, where it's like you have to reset. Like, it's automatic now. Like, we have phones. And
well, the stove isn't hooked up to Bluetooth. You still have, those of us with stoves and microwave ovens. I still have a VCR because I'm suffering from mental illness.
Thank you, Evan M., for liking our commentary and thinking we're not unlistenable. So that's a positive. We'll take that.
That was almost a compliment. We're not unlistenable. Thanks for that. Thank you. It's the internet, so.
Yeah. And let us know what you're thinking, guys. Let us know your predictions. Who's walking out with the Bonilla Monetary Fund title here tonight? That is why we have the Bobby Bonilla photo in the background, because of the BMF title. Donations to the Bonilla Monetary Fund.
He needs your help, folks.
Yes.
He didn't screw over the Mets enough. He didn't screw over the Mets. He didn't rip them off. They signed it. They offered him that deal. Yes. He took it, and you would too.
Also, there is a lot of people confused by the fact that tomorrow is daylight savings. Well, in about 3 hours, it's daylight savings.
At 2 a.m., that's how you do it.
Which is when Canelo Alvarez will probably be walking into the ring in the Eastern Standard Time Zone. Harry just walking through my shot.
Oh. Unprofessional.
And a lot of people saying pro wrestling is acting. I would like to say, as a person who's gotten a concussion and a blown-out knee from professional wrestling, it ain't acting. I'll tell you that. It ain't acting, but you know it's not acting. My love for this lovely beer from 18th Ward Brewing. They provided us with 2 growlers here tonight, and I've got this IPA. You know what? I'm going to crack open the stout for this next fight.
Nice.
We're going to welterweight.
And pro wrestling, by the way, the only real sport that there is.
Yes.
Professional wrestling. Everything else is fake. Okay. Including beach volleyball. I'm going after you as well.
Roller derby,
all the sports. Darts. It's all fake. It's rigged.
Yes, it's all.
And some highlights on the
from UFC 245 press conference yesterday.
Colby Covington getting in the face there, and Dana White having to separate people. It's always funny that Dana has to separate people.
Solar Tribe Studio saying Jorge Diaz will win over Nate Masvidal, no problem.
Jorge Diaz.
Did you say Jorge Diaz?
Did I say Jorge Diaz?
Because I'm trying to see if he's joking us. And heading East 33, what beer is this? This is the 18th Ward Brewing Company's beautiful stout. I just picked this up yesterday. I have not tried it yet. But it is a stout from 18th Ward Brewing. You can look them up on social media. I'm going to let this get a little aerate a little bit. This coming in from Solar Tribe Studios. Darts is all green screen. Yep, Darts, much like the moon landing, according to certain people, I'm not getting into that, is all green screen as they show off a Modelo party at the Buffalo Wild Wings in Times Square. As a journalist, you cover press conferences. I covered a press conference at a Dave & Buster's once between the bare-knuckle fight between Paulie Malignaggi and Artem Lobov. And I have seen fights in that Dave & Buster's before because I have had friends who worked there. This nearly became that level of a fight inside of Dave & Buster's. Let us know what you guys think is going on in the chat. I'm Matt Ryan. Harry Terjanian has walked away from the desk just for a minute. He hasn't quit, sadly. But we're so thankful for all of you guys. Daniel, Harry speaks Spanish. I do not. But if you are looking for a Spanish language feed, we hopefully will be able to provide one for you in the near future right here on the SBN MMA YouTube channel. And also, if you've got questions for myself or Harry or Nermal, our social media producer, or anybody else here inside the Chubby Sotilli Memorial Studios, right here inside the Junkyard Shed in Weehawken, we want to hear them. We want to know. Here's a question. Can I have this frozen cream spinach in the freezer? Harry, can he have?
Oh yeah, of course, sure, yeah. Go
yeah,
for
Jesse, it's all yours.
There we go.
And this question coming in.
My healthy junk food.
Mr. Tulian with the question: should Kelvin be allowed to fight? He clearly cheated at the weigh-in. Well, he allegedly leaned on his coach during the official weigh-in yesterday.
That's the responsibility of the people conducting the weigh-in.
Yeah.
One of the fighters clearly looked like two small children wearing an overcoat. There's a lot going on.
Yes, a lot of
weigh-in.
At an Invicta show, it was a Muppet woman. It was like two Muppets on top of each other.
Yeah, so that's the responsibility of the commission to do the weigh-in. That's not. I guess if they said yes, they said yes.
Michael Q asking where Beige Phillip at.
Where Beige Phillip at? It's now Man School 202 available for free on iTunes. Man School 202, the podcast hosted by Dante Nero and myself and Andre D. Thompson for your sex and relationship advice for men and women. It's Man School 202. You can go to manschool202.com if you want, but every Tuesday, new episodes on iTunes. It's a lot of fun and very helpful. Thank you for the shout out there. Nice, a little bit of crossover.
Synergistic.
And I didn't ask anyone to do that.
And someone asked about your former life on a certain 102.7 radio station. They were asking if that was you.
Yeah, it was me. I was an intern for both Ron and Fez and Opie and Anthony, and a producer for Ron and Fez.
I was at two of those things. If you search your history, Javier Rapidas, we're just saying we're just talking words. We're not showing the fight.
Yes.
Legally, we cannot show. Yeah. We can't show punching. We can't show.
Somehow, us showing the UFC fight for free that they're charging money for.
Yes.
They frown upon that for some reason.
You know what? Dana White once told me not to do that, so I'm.
Wah! You're stealing our content. Wah! What you're doing is illegal.
Blue Meadows asked if I was a pro wrestler. Have I had pro wrestling matches, Harry?
You have wrestled in pro wrestling matches, yes, sir.
I am a professional wrestling manager, announcer, and producer. I'm the producer of Capital Wrestling, which you can see Mondays at 6 p.m. on Fight, and also on the Fight Network in Canada, U.S., and in the UK.
In the UK, or all over the place. I do the color commentary.
Yes, you do.
Fine organization. Capital Wrestling, again, we did not ask for people to plug those things, but you can follow us on our social media as well, at Harry Terjanian. That's mine.
And M. Ryan Consulting, the sexiest Twitter name, the most generic Twitter name of all time. But now we've got Vincente Luque making the Silent Assassin. Going up against Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. Quality nicknames in this.
Wonderboy Thompson, I love it. Let's see, a Tenacious D tribute? Probably not.
No.
It's either Tenacious D or it's The Natural, right?
I believe so, yes.
Right. Which one is it going to be?
I preferred Wonderbat.
Wonderbat?
Yeah.
Which one was
that? The Simpsons episode.
Oh, I forgot. Which one was that?
The softball episode. Luque tied for third most finishes in UFC welterweight history with 9 as he makes his way inside the Octagon. And also, for those asking, this stout from 18th Ward is delicious.
Vincente Luque during the press conference saying that this could be the most dangerous Stephen Wonderboy Thompson that anyone's ever faced. So he's definitely not looking past him. Of course, the last seen at UFC Fight Night Nashville in March, lost by KO to Anthony Pettis. That's Wonderboy Thompson. Before that, he lost to Darren Till at UFC Liverpool by decision.
And he's been in the UFC since 2015, and in his pro career has yet to be knocked out. 9 of his 17 wins have been by way of knockout. And here comes a man that has a huge following in the UFC, a perennial contender at welterweight, Stephen Thompson, walking into the Octagon tonight, 14-4-1 as a fighter, and was last seen back in Nashville, where he lost by knockout to a returning Anthony Pettis.
Yes, but he's, again, on a two-match losing streak, the longest of his career. But we'll see how he comes back from that, what level. I mean, certainly looks in incredible shape, for sure. And coming out to Wonderboy, Tenacious D. I always appreciate a good
Favorite Tenacious D song?
Dio. Tribute to Dio.
Dio. I'm a tribute guy. Tributes up
Dio's
there. Jesus Ranch.
I think I'll go old school before they were really famous.
Back
Bowie
in the
knife, stabbing you with my Bowie while I'm naked. Stabbing you with my Bowie while I'm naked.
Shout out to Warren Latham watching us in the UK at 3:10 a.m. enjoying the chit chat.
Did you set your clock back? That's the important thing. This is really what this is about. It's not here. This is public service announcement reminding you to set your clock back,
and
because it's just going to be really uncomfortable when you don't.
Jeff Chapman asking where we are based of. We will say it again. We are inside the Chubby Sotilli Memorial Studios, inside the shed of a junkyard in Weehawken, New Jersey. That's Harry Terjanian. I'm Matt Ryan. We're calling all the action here for you. Stephen Thompson getting limber, getting inside the Octagon as we prepare for the tail of the tape. Luque, 27 years old. The Thompson's 36. Thompson with the height advantage, 6 feet to 5'11". Thompson weighing in at 170.5 pounds. Luque at 170, and Luque does a 0.5-inch reach advantage for the 14th ranked welterweight in the world, with a 75.5-inch reach advantage to Thompson's 75. And Blue Meadow says, we set ours back last Sunday in the UK. So the United Kingdom...
Why is it always a problem between us and the UK? They got to do everything different.
Metric.
Got to drive on the other side of the road. The metric system's all goofy.
Parliamentary government. Yeah.
Boxing Day that you guys have. We don't do that.
That's
we don't
Canada
care.
too.
Well, I don't even want to get into that. You don't want to bother with the kilometers. What am I, a communist? We tried to switch over to America in the 70s, and as a country, we just said no. It's too hard. We just, as a whole country, we went, nah.
America, we'll try it for about 5 minutes, but then,
So instead, we use fractions like idiots. It's stupid. It's stupid.
Oh.
Metric system is the proper way to do it. Everyone does it. It's based in tens. I don't want to get into ounces and pounds at the supermarket. Anyway, referee Keith Peterson with it.
Looking like the assistant line coach at Ohio State in 1967.
Or English. He looks English, but here we go. They set up here.
And this coming in from the instant feedback. Harry's just angry because he failed math. Don't blame others for being smarter. Here we go. 3 seconds into the fight.
Fractions suck.
And Harry's character has been assassinated
and
quickly.
We're 5/8 of the way into this first round.
Is that divisible by anything?
I don't know. It's stupid.
Luque going for the low kicks, trying to take out Thompson's knee. Effective here, and Thompson giving it right back to him.
Both
kicking that outside leg with his inside leg.
Both of them with a wide sort of stance that they're taking, but Wonderboy, I forget that he switches.
Yeah, he's
one of those fighters
that switches He's leading
stance.
with his right hand, having that left leg cocked, that left arm cocked, and now going leg kicks. A battle of leg kicks here. It's about to get Rory McDonald-ish very soon. That was one of the most disgusting things I ever saw. Was that McDonald fight in Bellator, where he just kept getting his leg chopped down like a tree.
Yeah, that's right. A couple of weeks back, right?
And Andrew Smith, shout out to Cincinnati, Ohio.
And again, Wonderboy switching back to and from the southpaw stance.
He's just trying to keep a rhythm. He's just trying to use his experience here.
I never know
how to befuddle Luque.
how effective that process is. It looks very weird, but that doesn't mean it's ineffective to watch a fighter switch back and forth. It's definitely got to be jarring to your opponent, but
it changes your strategy because you got to figure out if you're going for a takedown, what leg do you go after? And Thompson trying to keep him away, kick to the midsection, almost caught him in the ribs, and another low kick to the knee by Thompson right in the middle of the octagon, keeping his distance away from Luque, who's got a 0.5, a half-inch reach advantage for those not using metric. Taking a few punches with that left hand, just trying to tap away. Is Luque try to figure out his reach and missing with a right hand. Thompson against the octagon, and he's on his back foot, trying to charge ahead. Lands a left right to the jaw of Luque, and it's 3:03 left to go in round number 1.
And just sort of trading kicks back and forth here, but both still in the center of the cage.
Quick strike exchange. Moving back now, 2:51 left to go in round number 1. Thompson feeling a little more confident in there. Lands a quick left hand, misses with a right. Bouncing around inside the octagon. Quick combination, ends up with a body kick. Thompson, I think, in control of this fight so far. Another low kick and a quick 1-2 combination by Thompson. Quick left and a right. High kick going for the head and misses clean. As Thompson continues to pace around the center of the octagon, keeping Luque right in the center. Stalking and prowling the 27-year-old with 2:19 left to go in round number 1. Luque in control.
Just going back and forth.
And a little bit of a contusion on Thompson's chest. I don't know if he walked into the fight with that, but Luque with a quick connection, a quick strike exchange, bounced Thompson against the octagon, and now Thompson against the wall. Quick combination shot to the body. Thompson looking like he's hurt after a right hand flying knee by Luque. Now in the clinch. Thompson finding his way out of it at 1:50 now left in round number 1. Quick right left hand by Thompson after a missed knee by Luque. Changing his stance again, trying to go for the single leg. He misses on Luque. Thompson lands a right hand after a failed takedown attempt. And those leg kicks are going right to the shin. Some going to the thigh, but most have been right below the knee, going for that shin.
A couple checks, too. Again, back and forth. 1:20 left in this first round.
Another kick to the shin by Luque, using that right leg right into the left leg of Thompson. Thompson pushing off after a takedown attempt by Luque. 1:06 now left to go in round number 1. Matt Ryan and Harry Terjanian calling the action for you on the SBN MMA YouTube channel. Luque looking a little dazed there. Might have a cut, or that's just the lights inside Madison Square Garden. Thompson caught with a right hand after landing one himself. Luque now in control of the pressure, trying to force Thompson against the octagon. Both men throwing strikes, both landing. Thompson's back against the octagon, misses. Right now, 24 for 55 and significant strikes for Thompson. 34 of 61 for Luque. Luque landing more and throwing more here in the first round. Even though Thompson looked like he was keeping pace, Luque's been piling it on here with 23 seconds left to go. And slowing it down here, 19 seconds left. Quick combination and a body kick almost right into the upper pectoral region of Luque by Thompson. 10 seconds now, quick right hand landed by Thompson.
Another high kick there.
Missing that head kick, checked by the elbow of Luque, and we will go to round number 2 with both men having an impressive showing here, but Luque may be walking away with a 10-9 round.
Very similar styles, between the two of these. It's interesting that these last 2 fights, both of the fighters have very similar styles.
Thompson, 36, is called Wonder Man in the UK, presumably because of the metric system. Back to you, Harry.
Well, there we go. He's not, for some reason, Thompson not sitting on a stool? They have misplaced the stool.
The stool is missing.
The stool is missing.
How do you lose a stool?
It's crazy things happen when the president's in the building, man.
Did he need it?
I don't know. But just a weird series of events. How do you misplace the stool?
Thompson pulling a Foreman, not using the stool. In the week of the 45th anniversary of the Rumble in the Jungle.
Let's see. Wonder Boy not getting a rest here, not sitting down. We'll see how that affects him. But both fighters ready So we begin round 2 here.
Luque bouncing as he comes out. He's the first one to get to the middle of the octagon. 4:55 left to go, 5 seconds into the round. Luque landing more and throwing more significant strikes in round number 1. High kick, nearly a heel kick to the jaw of Luque, landing right on his chest. And a quick kick attempt by Luque not landing a middle body kick. Going for a low kick, 1-2 combination by Thompson in the middle of the octagon.
A couple of a swing by Luque, but missed. But both of them sort of, again, feeling each other out. And a
quick
strike there.
A left hook to the jaw by Thompson. Trying to get himself back into this one. 4:18 left to go in round number 2.
And Thompson throwing a lot more punches in this second round. Trying to shake things up a little bit. Taking a kick to the ribs from Luque.
Quick left hand by Thompson.
Yeah.
That left hand is explosive.
It's interesting. Oh, another kick from Thompson.
Checked by the forearm of Luque. Right hand sent Thompson back a bit. Right against the temple. But Thompson not giving any quarter. It looks like he might be a little red around the nose. And not trying to give any quarter here against the younger competitor as we have it here at welterweight. Luque trying to pile on the punches. Was throwing with his right. It looks like that left may be injured. He's really not throwing that left hand. Quick left hand by Thompson now, as they stay right in the center of the octagon. Another body kick going right for the thigh and the hip of Thompson. Right hand landed by Thompson. Got enough in there to make it effective. Almost blocked entirely by Luque though. Right hand thrown by Luque again. Not throwing that left. Protecting with that left hand. Kind of like a goalie there. Not utilizing his entire body. Knee attempt by Luque. 3:05 left to go in the round.
A good amount of blood there coming out of the nose. Might be busted. I don't think it's broken, but definitely not slowing him down.
And now Luque finally throwing that left. A looping big side kick. And Luque doing a lucha roll. Doing essentially a back roll to get right back up.
But why Thompson didn't go after him is odd to me.
Because the momentum of his body, that was caution there. 34 head strikes thrown by Thompson, only 19 thrown by Luque, including 3 just thrown by Thompson. While Luque spinning back heel kick by Thompson, the 36-year-old, showing he can still go. 2:29 left to go in the round. Another kick right to the midsection. Luque in trouble here.
And a bad situation. Luque busted open here, cut underneath his left eye. 2 minutes and 15 seconds. Oof.
2:14 now. Quick combination, throwing strikes here. Wild right hand by Thompson did not land. 2:05 left to go. Thompson utilizing his kicks a lot in this round. And that was a spinning back kick. Using that heel right into the rib cage. Checks him with a left hand.
And again, back to the center of the octagon. They're now trading some punches here, but it's almost like they're not dodging any of them. Back and forth. They'll take one of them will take a punch and then punch right back and land it. Pretty good fight here so far. Both squaring off again in the center. Ooh, a left hand.
Luque's face is war
busted up here.
Now. Another back heel kick by Thompson, barely landing on the chest, and now just trying to punch through Luque's cover. Quick left jab by Thompson, bouncing and pacing now with 1:18 left to go in round number 2. Comes over with that right hand, does Thompson. Trying to connect on the jaw, low kick, trying to go for the knee. 36 significant strikes thrown in the round by Thompson, 21 by Luque. In comparison to 40 he threw in round number 1. Thompson just landing at will, throwing some hammerous punches.
Some great combinations. Luque still standing up, but he's taking a lot of damage here. Another combination, but Luque gets, even after the combination, Luque gets right in there with a left hook.
He's keeping active, he's keeping busy, but this has been Thompson's round, and he's trying to show aggressive. Came over with the right, tried to cut with the left uppercut, spinning back heel kick to the head again, barely blocked by Luque. 34 seconds now left to go in round number 2. Shout out to the chat, you guys are awesome. Low kick, quick left hand by Thompson. Stirring and pacing is Luque. Big quick 1-2 combination, coming in with the left, landing with that rollover right.
Luque taking so much damage, he's still standing, but again taking another punch right there with 15 seconds left.
10 seconds now. That right hand going right after the eye. Thompson sees blood, and he's going after it like a shark. Time winding down here in round number 2, and Luque will see round 3. What a round by Stephen Thompson.
Yeah, incredible. Luque's still standing, but the damage is insane at Luque's face. Did they find the stool is the question. Now Luque, no stool. What's going on here?
This coming in from the instant feedback. Curtis Blades calling out Derek Lewis. I usually don't do call-outs, but Derek Lewis is easy money. Y'all thought DC ragdoll him? I'm going to make him tap to takedowns. Whew! It's spicy in these streets.
All right.
And Blue Meadow saying 1-1 in rounds here. I could see that. I could see Luque taking round 1. Thompson clearly taking round 2 here.
And Luque's corner people telling him move his feet.
Tim Kennedy blaming Yoel Romero for Wonder Boy's missing stool. Oh, that right hand on the replay. That's what cut him up. You can take a look at Luque's nose, and he's got a contusion right under his right eye here. And this entire part of his nose is completely busted up.
Explain the rolling thing, the rolling rule for people that don't know.
No, it was just more of like, it depends upon what you want to do. Because he was rolling all the way back, and his momentum was going to carry him back up to his feet.
And if Thompson was there, he could have landed real quick. I think it was a bad move, but again, in the middle of the fight, the adrenaline going, you don't know. But
Terrazetta asking, are they taking turns with the stool, like rotating it each round?
Luque didn't sit on his stool either. So, very bizarre.
And we're starting here 20 seconds into round number 3. Luque coming out more aggressive here in round 3, trying to finish this fight or at least be impressive enough to walk away with the decision. Thompson, calm and composed, throwing a couple of strikes. Luque bouncing, full of energy, and spinning heel kick, trying to be active here, but may not be conserving his energy the right way, may not be using his energy the right way.
Coming out, throwing a lot of kicks in this 3rd round. Oh, Thompson.
Body kick right to the midsection, and Thompson not trying to challenge. I don't think he wants to challenge Luque on the ground. Big left hand. Thompson takes him down. Luque in trouble. Thompson raining down punches, trying to remain standing. It's Thompson. He's not trying to go into the clinch, but now Thompson going right after him, just keeping his body in enough position.
Clearly, Thompson having a lot of respect for Luque's ground game because he backed off the second Luque was able to grab a hand.
It would be bip, bip, slide. Bip, bip, slide.
And they're both back to their feet, but oof.
Quick left hand.
Yeah.
3:38 left to go in round number 3.
Oh, a swing there from Thompson. But both back in the center of the octagon. Again, trading punches. Side kick from Thompson.
Some great. Evan M, an MVP in the chat, by the way. Effective use of picture show.
Picture show?
Yeah, look in the chat. Thompson in control here. Quick left hand. Bouncing and pacing. Luque trying to give chase. He looks a little groggy there. Quick right hand from Thompson, who keeps the aggression, keeps the pressure going here.
And Thompson backing him against the cage here.
Body kick right to the midsection, going for that head kick again. Just trying to open up that block, open up the guard from Luque, who right now is just keeping his arms up and moving around the octagon.
Definitely
trying to find a hole.
Definitely Thompson's round at this point with 2 minutes and 35 seconds left in the 3rd round of this fight. And Luque throwing a couple kicks here, but yeah. Oh, another punch from Thompson.
2:25 left to go in the round. Thompson
being very cautious here.
I think he knows he's got this round. He's got this round, and he's not going to chance it. That's why he would dominate from above and not try to turn this into a ground game.
Both going back and forth, both in the center of that octagon again. 2 minutes and 5 seconds left in this 3rd round.
Quick left hand by Thompson. Luque looking in trouble here. Keeps going, keeps aggressive, but he needs to do something. He's got to go for the stoppage here. He's got to take Thompson. He's got to find a way to keep Thompson grounded. Send him down, go for some sort of moonshot here. Because with 1:45 left to go, this is 2 straight rounds for Thompson.
Wonder Boy in the center there, kind of dictating control, but a couple quick punches from Luque.
93 seconds left to go in the round.
It's very dangerous. At any point, Luque can turn this on. I mean, we saw him do it in the 1st round for sure, but But right now, it looks like Thompson should be ahead on points here. Luque going for a combination. But Wonderboy right back.
Looping right hand and a looping left hand and a body kick. Going right for the midsection and then a little bit of a lead leg kick by Thompson. 1:05 now left to go in the round.
Wonderboy going with another couple combinations, rocking Luque a little bit.
This just in,
Another
we just got a cease and desist from blipblipslide.com. I'm sorry, guys. Significant head strikes, 88 landed by Thompson. He landed 88 significant head strikes. At that point, you just put him in the concussion protocol.
Most of those in the second and third round too. Ooh, side kick to the ribs.
Spinning backside kick right into the in the abs.
Great combinations from Thompson. Just quick roundhouse kick and then right to a 1-2, left and a right. And with 24 seconds, I guess Thompson is being careful, but he is going for a couple shots there, but very careful with them.
Leading with that left, and you can see a little bit of blood on Thompson's nose. You can see like a little bit of redness right on the bridge of the nose. Quick right hand, 10 seconds left to go, and this one looks like it'll go to the judges. Thompson landing with a left. Luque landing another left of his own. He was really holding off that left high head kick, spinning back kick, and he slips and slides, and we'll go to the judges. One hell of a fight. This has been an amazing card so far.
Yeah, absolutely. All three fights of the main card, and even the prelims were really fantastic as well, but just the main card alone, each fight's been different. It's been great, but I would be surprised if Thompson doesn't take this, to be honest.
And thank you to Wilfredo Aquino saying, great job, gentlemen.
Thank you. We appreciate it.
Thank you. And this coming in down in Vegas at the MGM Grand Garden Arena, Evan Holyfield, the son of Evander Holyfield, made his pro boxing debut tonight.
Oh, nice.
A first-round stoppage over Nick Winstead, walking away with the victory and both his ears. Something his father was unable to do in Las Vegas about 22 years ago.
Never let that down.
And this coming in from Stephanie Sotilli, a writer, best friend to both of us and collaborator of yours. Mauro Ranallo says he wants his yelling energy back. Well, it's mine now! I came in and stole it! I'm the American version of Mauro.
He doesn't have that copyright. How many cease and desists are we going to get tonight? That's
72.
what I want to know.
72. See, I got the hair, though. I got this hair, though.
I got one from an embassy before for the jokes I was making. Because I get all my current jokes from watching All in the Family. And look at the damage on Luque's
I'm being
face.
told to yell Papa Mia.
Papa Mia.
Papa Mia! It's going to actually be the name of my one-man show, Papa Mia.
I love Mauro. I'd like to know why he never gets the same haircut twice. It's a little confusing.
I want to ask you the same question.
Well, my hair's all over the place, but I'm not making that NXT, WWE, Bellator money.
Terry Kinnison saying, thank you, gentlemen. I didn't even know you guys existed. I'm glad I found you. We're glad we found you, too.
Boy, if I had a dime for every time someone said that.
You'd have a dime.
Thank you.
Let's go to the judges. Harry, how's the score?
Let's see here. Bruce Buffer looking like a Vegas lounge singer, and I mean that as a compliment. Here we go. 30-26, 30-26, and 29-27 by unanimous decision. Even Wonderboy Thompson.
Yeah,
not a surprise here.
Thompson took rounds 2 and 3.
Yeah,
it was
sure.
really.
I mean, an impressive display, a very technical fight, very cautious, but just cut him down consistently with those kicks, switching the stances, a lot of great combinations. And Joe Rogan saying that Wonderboy Thompson, one of the nicest killers in the world.
And June, our moderator in the YouTube chat, saying she's got Gastelum and Masvidal in our last 2 fights.
And Thompson saying he was a tough guy, that he hit him in the head as tough as he could, and that he was resilient. And
had his foot up his ass all day. Bang, bang, bang up his ass. That's Thompson's pleasure.
That's my pleasure.
Rest in peace,
Shout out
John
R.I.P.
Witherspoon.
The great John Witherspoon.
Salute.
And Wonderboy saying he's ready to come in this cage and fight the hardest wars possible. And if a knockout happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But he's saying it was a great fight. He wants to thank all the fans here in New York City. Chief Pop. And Joe Rogan saying it was great to see him back on the winning track. Congratulations, Wonderboy Thompson, ladies and gentlemen. Great fight.
Yeah,
a great fight. A very
Hell of a
smart fight. Smart strategy, effective, no doubt about it. It's good to see Thompson.
Josh Duhamel is alive? The dude from that casino show? Like a decade ago? Oh, Rose Namajunas. Nice. One of my favorite, I enjoy Rose
Millie
Namajunas.
rocking there.
Frankie Edgar, there inside Madison Square Garden tonight. I ran into him the other day. It was an odd, you're just living your life. And you're like, oh, that's a famous person.
It's Frankie Edgar. Did you run into him at the bathroom at Whole Foods?
No, I did not. It was actually at a Roy Rogers.
Well, you're not the journalist I am. Right place, right time.
And thank you, Steve Carasso, for the shout out. Love the tone of what we're doing. Thank you. I don't mean for it to be like the we love ourselves society, but
no, it's
look at us. Do you feel like self-esteem is at the top of what we are as people?
I look good. I don't know what you're talking about.
Shut up. Solidarity, dude.
I feel good about this. We're having a good time. This has been a great card, man.
Yeah, there's not been a bad fight.
UFC, mixed martial arts it's a crazy sport. You never know what to expect. Sometimes these big cards are a huge letdown.
Yes.
Sometimes, the fights sometimes they're short. These were great competitive fights, and even the first one was a great finish. It's just been a fun night so far, and I'm glad you're joining us here on the SBN MMA YouTube channel.
That's right. Hit the subscribe button, hit that like button, and if you're so inclined, hit that donate button. And folks, we are 2 fights away. We are about 45 minutes, half hour away, hopefully by the stroke of midnight, maybe 12:15. Nate Diaz and Jorge Masvidal will be getting inside the Octagon. But you know what? Tell your friends. Come join us. Come join Matt and Harry. Come join Matt and Harry.
Yeah, absolutely. Let your friends know.
It's got to say it here inside the Junkyard, inside the lovely studios here in Weehawken, New Jersey, in our wonderfully built set that isn't, completely built within an hour and a half. No. SBN paid money for this. They paid money, for the set.
Good money to have
for the
DJ Daniel Bryan in the back, Jerry the King Lawler
working the one. And there's the Bobby Bonilla.
Classy Freddie Blassie, the best manager in all of combat sports. Professional wrestling, the only real sport that there is. And Madison Square Garden, this fight has lived up to everything we hoped it would be. And there's still so much more left. The main event, incredible.
Hockey Blitz 303 saying these guys look like they were maybe athletes 10,000 donuts ago.
That's fairly accurate.
Yeah,
I have competed in soccer. I've played hockey. I've played tennis. I'm actually a lot more athletic than I look.
I'm fast for a fat man.
Yeah. Well, yeah. You won the Fat Olympics. I remember that.
Yes.
3 years running.
I medal every year.
Well, all you have to do with that one is just outlast. Most of the competitors die of a heart attack during the pre-ceremony luncheon, which I don't know why they do.
Because there's a pie eating contest at the start of it. That's kind of like the initial event. You know how the Olympics has the lighting of the Olympic torch?
Well, they light a barbecue, which I think is great. It's really effective. We'll be calling that, amongst many other sports, the Fat Olympics, coming here to the SBN MMA YouTube channel. Sort of a combat sport, right? You're combating your willpower and
my self-loathing.
Your arteries. Kelvin Gastelum versus Darren Till.
Dominique Gillen asking, how much do you guys weigh? Enough.
That's the only time I'm glad we don't use the metric system. Let's just put it that way.
Harry Terjanian, you hold the record for least amount of steps taken in a day. 0.5. Hard to beat.
Yeah. I weigh I weigh as much as Brock Lesnar. Let's put it that way.
Can you do the bounce? Can you do the bounce?
I can make my pecs go. I actually have pretty decent pecs. And I also have a weird phallic knife tattooed on my chest.
Someone asking us to Evan M, who is probably I love these guys in the chat, man. You guys are the best. Asking for us to commentate the Fat Olympics. It's hard because I'm an athlete.
We also compete in them. It would be a conflict of interest. I have a lot of experience in it, but also to come up and down the stairs of the broadcast booth would be
This is why we're at the table, right here. So Anthony Cardell is saying, just a college student out here in Des Moines, Iowa, saving some cash, listening to the live stream. As a former college student, we say you're welcome.
Yeah.
We saved you money.
Hope you're enjoying that ramen.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. You're going to college willingly in Iowa, so you need all the help you can get. We're here to provide it for you.
And a little bit of a video package here they're showing of Kelvin Gastelum and Darren Till. It's going to be an exciting fight here. And as you see,
let us
Kevin
know in the chat,
Gastelum.
guys. Yeah, Gastelum, Harry, give us some
last
of the stats.
lost in a fight for the interim middleweight title against current undisputed champion Israel Adesanya.
Adesanya. There's an A.
Yeah, I said Adesanya.
It's Adesanya.
Adesanya. Oh, I'm sorry.
The next show,
I'm not an expert.
It's going to be just me and DJ Daniel Bryan. So
I'm also partly dyslexic. Did I mention that? That's going to come into play. And I've had several concussions from playing sports. I've actually played sports.
I was going to say this. I was actually like a letter I athlete in high school.
What sport was that you athleted?
I was on the JV baseball team.
Okay.
And I was the captain of the bowling team.
You're the captain of the bowling team.
Captain of the bowling team.
The only sport where you
game.
can smoke during competition, and it's completely legal and encouraged.
I once saw a woman, I was bowling in high school, saw a woman throw the ball. Ball flew out of her arm, and she flat back bumped right onto the wood. It was like a whoop!
And that was the most exciting thing that happened during that game of bowling.
That was the most exciting thing that happened in that bowling alley since the Big Bopper died.
I enjoy the N1 bowling tour. I think it's a lot of fun. That was my favorite thing. I missed the professor and hot sauce. They would do the pop and
lock. Oh my God, the N1 fight tour.
The pop and lock.
Oh my God.
Johnny Walker would be great in the N1 mixed martial arts tour.
Mr. Sakiobara. I'm talking to you right now, man to man.
Mr. Sakiobara.
Hire the basketball players of the N1 mixtape tour, all 3,762 of them, and make an N1 MMA league. As Darren Till makes his way to the Octagon, Darren Till was going to get 20% of Kelvin Gastelum's purse because of Lean Gate. Is it Lean Gate? Are we calling it Lean Gate?
Elbow Gate.
Elbow Gate?
Elbow Gate.
Isn't that a website in the SBN MMA network?
Again,
isn't that a thing? Like Elbow Gate, isn't that a blog? That's a blog, right? Like someone started that blog.
It's never a boring moment in the world of mixed martial arts, for sure.
Dominique Gillen asking if we're... I have a look at this.
Asking if we what?
No, just I'm not going to answer the. I'm not going to say the question. But really, is it 1997? Is it 97?
I don't know. Let's see in here.
A lot of people just shaming Harry in the chat. This is Till's first fight at middleweight. Harry had a lot of trouble making welterweight. Almost missed weight for this completely because he was held up. His travel visa was in trouble. Barely made it to New York on time. Yeah, weighed in at 186 pounds. Tied for 8th highest takedown defense in UFC history. Welterweight history, 83.3%. 10 wins by knockout. This coming from user Portia V. When are you guys getting a woman on your show? There's way too much testosterone. We're
not that much
working.
testosterone.
No.
I don't want to break it to you.
I'm actually on the Vitor Belfort treatment, but we'll hopefully be adding to the crew shorter rather than longer, or sooner rather than later. That's the phrase, right? I don't know. I've been drinking.
Darren Till gets in. You have been drinking. What have you been drinking?
I've been drinking this beautiful. Aside from water, I've been drinking this beautiful 18th Ward Brewing. This is the stout right now. I've had a couple of the IPAs. And it's really good. It's a really strong stout. It's not bitter. It's a really good beer. And shout out to Nikki, Jordan, and everybody at 18th Ward for lending us some growlers here tonight.
Darren Till coming out to Sweet Caroline. Smart choice.
That's what every British fighter comes out to.
Why?
They're obsessed with Neil Diamond. It's a soccer thing. It's the same thing. Like it starts with the Boston Red Sox and then it ends up in the Premier League. That's pretty much how this works now.
Here we go. Kelvin Gastelum coming to the cage with some gaucho or mariachi music. Shout out to my Mexican brothers and sisters. Buenos dias. Did you set your clock back? Arreglado la... forgot to say clock.
This is coming in from the instant feedback. Kevin Lee says there's a Russian he has his eye on, and that's Islam Makhachev, telling Ali Abdelaziz, call Dana White and make it happen. I'd watch that. I'd watch Islam Makhachev and Kevin Lee. That would,
I think it would be a great fight.
It wouldn't end well for Kevin Lee, but, you know.
Well, Kevin Lee, I mean, it's an impressive showing, so, you know, I wouldn't, whatever.
Frankie Edgar at cage side tonight with long hair, reminding us of a young Albert Brooks. Like the SNL short film Albert Brooks, not Mother Albert Brooks.
I would like to see him remake Modern Romance with Frankie Edgar. I'd like to see Frankie Edgar remake all of Albert Brooks' classic films. Or vice versa, I would like to see Albert Brooks get into the Octagon.
Oh my God, Albert Brooks in an Octagon would be the best thing ever.
I'm going to approach this with a good stance. I like a southpaw stance. And I'm going to work him over, but I'm going to be careful because I don't like getting knocked out. In the corner is going to be my mother.
Going to scrape that ice off.
I got to scrape the ice off. I'm going to do a lot of training, eat a lot of frozen salads.
John Kennedy asking us to do play-by-play for Canelo Kovalev. We could.
Yeah.
If that fight happens after UFC 244.
And they are waiting, by the way. Speaking of daylight savings time, that fight might take place at Monday morning, Sunday morning, technically.
No, it might happen Monday morning. Who knows? Taking a look at the tail of the tape here. Gastelum 28, Till 26. Till 6 foot to Gastelum's 5'9", 74.5-inch reach for Till, who is 3 inches long. He's got 3 inches more of reach than Gastelum, who's at 71.5.
So he has an advantage in every aspect of this fight, technically speaking, anyway, by a little bit. And Bruce Buffer introducing the fighters.
Dominique Guillen has some of the worst trolling moves I've seen in 20 years of internet usage.
Pretty basic.
Yeah,
right?
It's not that hard.
What was he saying? Let me see. You pointed out there. Bro, you look like...
Oh, someone said, oh, he failed to make height?
Hey.
There's a... Wait, hold on.
That's very funny.
Time out, son.
He failed to make height.
Nah. I... Line of the night.
Line of the night.
Line of the night.
That's
so
great.
far.
Failed to make height. By the way, Dominic, just so you know, you're watching us, so all's right in the world. And we're not even reading your
hundreds and thousands of
stupid
others
trolls.
watching us tonight.
So it's just people in the chat room. You can... I mean, it's basic, bro. Basic. Yeah. It's all good. You're not going to ruin my night.
Come with some heat, sugar.
This isn't the Mike Francesa show that we get bummed out and then pretend like we're not bummed out by your trolling.
I have not fallen asleep yet.
That's true. Have you also not spilled a Coke? Your Diet Coke, rather?
This.
It's good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Mike Francesa, the biggest bore in sports radio. It's time, and a lot of England representing.
They travel well. And Crazy Hip Hop, thanks for subbing to the channel. Thank you so much for being a part of the conversation and being a part of the fun here tonight as we are inside the Chubby Sotelli Memorial Studios here inside a junkyard in a shed in Weehawken, New Jersey. Gastelum getting introduced now. Gastelum looking a little thick. That 184, I don't know. I don't know about that. I don't know if that was a thing or not.
Well, we'll see. He's had a winner of Vito Belfort overturned into a no contest for testing positive for weed. Ironic due to Victor living like Bane for a majority of his career.
The UFC screens inside the arena setting up the two main events just described Darren Till as the menace of Merseyside. That's a nickname.
That's a hell of a nickname, yeah. It's a deep pull, man. That's no Count of Monte Fisto, but you're all right. Apollo Creed.
Jamie Ayers
Shout out to Apollo Creed and R.I.P. I haven't forgotten. Never forget.
Here we go.
It was supposed to be an exhibition, damn it.
Gastelum trying to get inside, getting hyper aggressive. Gastelum tied up in the clinch by Till. Till trying to go for a takedown. Gastelum with a knee outside. Now jockeying for position here in the early portions of round number 1. Trying to battle here against the cage is Till. His first fight at 185 pounds. Trying to battle out of it here against the cage. Just a lot of grappling here, Harry. Not a lot of momentum, not a lot of striking, and Gastelum will break out of it.
Pulls away from it. They're back to the center of the octagon. A lot of resetting tonight. You know,
Trying to lead with that right hand. Kick to the knee by Till. Once again, in the center of the octagon. Pacing back and forth.
and an ole, ole, ole chant from the Mexican crowd, the Mexican faithful in New York City.
Also the English. Remember that.
That's true. Yeah, they do enjoy that chant as well. They might be joining in a nice moment of unity.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll see the Mexican wave, aka just
the wave.
Named after the '86 Mexico World Cup, where the wave was invented.
And Gastelum landing a knee to Till's. It was his outside leg, now his inside leg. That left leg. As Gastelum trying to get control here in the co-main event of the evening.
A great card so far tonight. Just an incredible return to the Garden here for the UFC. And not disappointing so far.
No, it's been a great card so far.
A great main event ahead of us. And
following those ole, ole, ole chants, President Trump has built a wall on the southeastern side of Madison Square Garden. So if you've been trying to get out of Manhattan on 31st and 8th Avenue, you are SOL. Back to the action. 2:53 left to go in the round. And Gastelum just throwing a hammer fist on the left knee of Darren Till.
Oof, talking about a Charlie horse.
That's a strategy. Horse. My man just tried to break his kneecap with his hand.
We will see if he goes for the wet willy, but it's
now,
still early in the fight.
And now Gastelum nudging Till's nose, Till's ear, with his head the same way my dog does when she wants me to wake up and walk her. Against the octagon now. And Gastelum trying to jockey for position, hitting that knee with his knee.
And another knee to the close to a low blow, but again, just hammering those quads with the hammer fist from.
We have not gone to the big board tonight. No junk punches or eye pokes on the big board.
No Jake Hagers, as we've called them.
That's what they're called now. It's the same way like the Darce choke. It's now getting Jake Hagered. Now standing in the middle of the octagon, Gastelum and Till pacing. 1:50 left to go in round number 1 of our co-main event here inside Madison Square Garden.
A lot of back and forth in this first round.
Gastelum tried to pull a Muay Thai clinch, landed a knee to the midsection. Both men landing here, but not really. Gastelum kind of just bouncing around. Not a clear winner so far in this early portion of the fight.
But a lot of those blows that Gastelum has landed, you're going to wonder how that's going to affect Till going forward in this fight. I mean, getting just hammer fisted in the quad is no joke.
No, it reminds people of when Benson Henderson tried that thigh punch against Nate Diaz.
It's the beauty of MMA is just that it's so different from boxing. You just the variety of ways you can hurt another human being is mind blowing to me.
I'm gonna try them on you later. I'm gonna just try to land a punch right to your kneecap.
Both clenching in the center there.
Stone White, thank you. It's appreciated. It makes me feel good about myself. And now 49 seconds left to go in the round. Both men, it's a feeling out process here in the round.
Just back and forth here. 40 seconds left in this first round. And for whatever reason, Till adjusting his cup a couple times. It's a small weird thing, but let's see if it comes into play later on. Both of them just now dancing around a little bit here.
I'm about to just yell punch somebody in the head. It's been an awkward feeling out portion here in the round. I kind of half expected this,
but it hasn't been inactive. That's for sure.
It's not been an inactive round, but when you're a co-main event on a card with the Bonilla Monetary Fund title on the line, you gotta throw some hands. We've had this going all night. Oh, good left hand to the jaw, Gastelum by Till, and we will head into round number 2. And again, now adjusting his cup, Darren Till.
A couple more times. And
looking exactly like the guy that's saying "You're beautiful." He looks like James Blunt, and it bothers me.
Yeah.
And this coming in, fans in Las Vegas at the MGM Grand Garden Arena are booing how slow this fight is going.
That's not. I mean, it's slow compared to the rest of the card. It's a spoil of riches. And his corner.
I was actually, Francis Fulham asking. This is our 3rd show. We did our first 2 for MMA Mania, asking how long we've been doing this. I've been a professional sports commentator for about 12 years now. Harry's been doing it for about 4, 2 of them good.
And now Gastelum's corner telling him, like, the fight is even. We got to We
The
got
fight is even because nobody's done anything really substantial yet. It's
not been substantial, but again, it hasn't been inactive. I think this crowd's a little bit spoiled tonight. I mean, this is the slowest fight so far, but all things considered, I mean, there was a little bit of grappling against the cage. I saw a couple Charlie horses. I mean, that's exciting. Sorry.
That punch to the kneecap was entertaining.
I mean, if it was just... And now, quick start here from Gastelum.
Adesanya rooting for Till because he wants new challenges. Mainly because he wants somebody in the division he hasn't fought before. And now Till throwing. We got a little bit of leather exchange in here. Till getting a little aggressive, trying to bait Gastelum. Now in the middle of the octagon. Knee missed by Gastelum. Elbow missed by Till. Now he's just trying to open the barn door, and Gastelum missing on a couple of free shots.
Fully adjusting his cup again. There's something up with Gill's cup. Or Till's cup, excuse me.
He doesn't need to brag. 4:18 left to go in the round. A couple of punches missed by Gastelum.
He is adjusting in the way you do it during a bar fight to show off. But I don't think that's what he was trying to do. I don't know if he's trying to psych out his opponent. But now the two of them circling off, and the crowd is getting bored, going back to the Ole Ole chant, something crowds do when
Is there a Baba Booey chant yet?
There's not yet.
Can we get Baba Booey
Night
trending?
is young. We still have not seen the appearance of President Trump. This is like WWE. We know he's in the building, ladies and gentlemen. But what he's up to, who he's with, is he with the NWO? We don't know.
Is he the third man?
Is he the third man? Yeah.
Left hand landing by Till. Till controlling the pace of this round so far.
There are words. I'm hearing words. Yes, Stone Cold Steve Austin has taken over the presidential limo, and he is on his way to the Octagon.
3:25 left to go in the round. And in the chat, Oil of Olay chants are in the crowd.
Oil of Olay.
And now Till trying to go with the double underhooks, kneeing Gastelum's knee, which just seems like at that point it's kind of a zero-sum game there.
I don't know what he was going for.
And Gastelum going for a face wash with his elbow against the face of Till. And we've got our first eye poke of the night, everybody! Put it on the board! We've got an eye poke!
Till going to take a second there.
It's either that or his contact lens fell out. He's good. He's good.
He wants to go. Till, go to the... I've never understood just rushing back into the fight. Take your time. You got poked in the eye.
He wants to punch somebody in the face.
I get
it. He got hit. Oh, right in the eye.
Oh, that's the worst eye poke I've ever seen. It went right in there.
You've watched so many Three Stooges videos. Low kicks.
Wow. Yeah, that was just all eyeball. That wasn't a graze. That went right.
Yeah. Low kick. The Gastelum, that right knee. He's either raising it to pull a protector, like he's trying to defend, or those kicks from Till are starting to wear on the knee of Gastelum. And now Till trying to go for a takedown. Gastelum defending and just charging Till against the cage like he was a tackling dummy.
And you can see the thigh starting to welt up the right thigh of Gastelum. And it's bruised.
Rich Valancourt asking, are you guys seriously happy about eye pokes? No, it's just...
We're not happy about eye pokes. Why did we say...
No, because on the MMA Mania Twitter, the Social Czar has a junk hit and eye poke counter. Because they've been happening so much lately.
Yeah, we're not happy about them. We're just pointing out it's ironic.
Yeah.
There you go. That should solve it.
2 minutes left to go in the round. Matt versus Harry, UFC 245. That would not end well for Harry. Minute 54.
Wait, what?
Yeah, no.
Me versus you?
I would wash you.
You would not.
I would wash you.
You would not. You don't have the cardio to do it.
Uh-huh.
You don't have the cardio to outlast me, brother. I mean, when we get big enough, we'll do it at one of those fancy charity things or whatever.
I thought you meant like wide enough, like we were the McGuire twins.
Oh, when we get big enough, the motorcycle, the two fat guys who used to ride on the motorcycles? I mean, what would your style be as we,
I'd go minus 200 line on Harry. Wow!
Minus 200.
Wow! Really? Oh, it's on now. Back to the action. Minute 18 left to go in the round. And Hockey Blitz 303 saying we're better than MMA on point. Oh, thank you.
Oh, thank you.
I like Tommy Tohold, though.
We didn't have to mention them by name, but that's why we roll here.
It's hot in these streets.
Calling people out.
You don't want your guys dancing all in the videos? Come to SBN.
Come to MMA Nation. Y'all got no love for MMA? MMA Mania? Y'all ain't got no love for MMA Mania?
53 seconds left to go in the round.
SBN MMA is for the children. And so far, they're going back and forth. This is why we've not called much action
There's
here.
not been a lot of fighting.
I don't
in this
even know
round.
how you're going to score this, to be quite honest.
I'm giving the round to Till because he's been more dominant. Gastelum trying to pile up
still
here.
35 seconds, yeah. Yo, I'm dancing in the videos. Yo, I'm tired of the producers dancing. Producers getting in the octagon.
Joker World saying Harry send location.
What? I didn't get that.
That's a Khabib thing. He told Connor send location.
Send location.
And a shout out to
I'm going to throw a hand truck through your window.
Dodger Valentine from Scotland. Cheers, my friend. Low kick by Till. And we're going to go to the third round for this fight for reasons. Because we legally have to have 3 rounds. Thanks, Unified
It's not been
Rules.
a bad. It's
not been a bad fight.
But
like,
the limping, you can see that right.
Gastelum's getting Rory McDonald in this
That
fight
right
bad.
quad is
and we
just
found a
going
stool
up.
for Kelvin Gastelum. Thank God.
What's going on? People stealing property at the Garden tonight. It's hot. It's hot in there.
And fans, enjoy Harry's last show because he's going to MMA Nation. And
did I say MMA Nation?
Yes, you did.
I don't know. I'm just trying to improvise here.
Not well.
Hold on. What do you want me to do? It's on the fly. We're calling things. I'm listening to the fight. I'm listening to the cornermen, trying to find people's stools. People are adjusting their cups, Charlie horses. It's been a crazy night.
Someone's
and then
asking,
also the president's in town.
And someone's asking if he's hit someone with a chair yet.
Not yet. They can't find him.
Is Trump complaining about the concessions at the Garden? There's no McDonald's in there.
That's true.
They do have like that Jean Georges.
He's
like
the only one complaining that the food at the Garden is too healthy.
Did you see that they have in Madison Square Garden a Cheetos Sundae?
No, but that's why you're going to lose this fight because that's the type of training you're doing. I'm doing Conor McGregor style. I'm knocking old people out in preparation.
Here we go.
For
round
not drinking
3.
my whiskey. Round 3 here.
Paul LeBrac saying we're 2 handsome dudes. Thank you. I needed that. 4:48 left to go in the round, and Gastelum now taking Till's approach, going for those low kicks, going right for the knee, gets caught trying to go for the ribs. Big elbow by Till.
Gastelum looking with a strange stance there, but they're both back in the center of the cage.
Now Gastelum trying to go for a takedown, went for a waist lock, applied it, gets Till to the edge of the octagon, right up against the Monster Energy and Circle K advertisements, which is the most MMA advertisement ever. As they pace around, we'll take your money though. Left hand, by Till, going for that kick again at the knee, just trying to chip away at Gastelum with 4:05 left to go in round number 3.
Ooh, another high kick there from Till.
Block though.
Yeah, but that's...
Pacing around now.
It's been a careful fight by both of them, and again, I don't get the crowd's frustration, to be honest.
Because they want blood.
I know. It is New York City, Madison Square Garden. We're still trying to figure out, will the president get booed more or less than he was booed at the World Series? We have not seen him on the Jumbotron.
What is the line on that?
I don't know. I'm saying he's going to get booed. I was at the press conference. Colby Covington booed terribly during the UFC 245, and that was just for reading Donald Trump Jr.'s book.
No, it's just for Colby existing. He's not that popular. Spinning back elbow attempt by Darren Till. That's an interesting move. A spinning back elbow.
I might be picking up here with 3 minutes left in the final round of this fight. Let's see here. They're both kind of feeling each other out again.
3:03 and not the emo band left to go in round number 3.
Well, next one I'm going to call out when it's 3:11 left. If we're going to do that.
Oh, amber is the color of...
Fortunately, you can't have a 1 minute and 82 seconds. Otherwise, I do a blink 182. Again, we are talking about everything but the fight because they're just not doing much here. It's going back and forth.
Till has landed 16 leg kicks to Gastelum's 14 in the round.
Oh, caught the kick.
He catches it. Gastelum catches Till's kick, sends him down.
Vice versa.
And now trying to go for the back jump as everything turns green. Thanks, ESPN.
Or Comcast. Screw you, Comcast. Comcast is awful. I'm gonna say it.
We're just really limiting SBN MMA as the only place where we can get work. It's all right. I've worked for worse places.
Well, maybe if I work for them, my internet will be better. Let's go.
Gastelum missing with a right hand, going right for the chin of Till. Does not land. 2:04 left to go in the round. I think Till might win this fight here just based on what's going on.
I mean, just based on the look, if you go by the look at the thighs, I mean, Gastelum just taking a lot of kicks, but... Ooh, a knee from Till.
Ducks a punch from Gastelum to Till, sends him to the ground, almost in him with an illegal knee right to the head, but pulled back to avoid a Greg Hardy situation. And no, not that one, the one in his first fight.
Yeah. No.
Going for a knee to the abdomen.
Ooh, a nice punch there from Till. Misses the knee.
Misses that in the Muay Thai clinch, missing the knee.
A minute and 15 seconds still left in the final round of this fight.
Going for a waist lock, trying to go for a takedown to Till. Gastelum finds a way out of it. Minute 9 left to go in round number 3 of our co-main event. Coming up in just about 15 minutes time, unless the UFC shows 87 promo packages to piss off Oscar De La Hoya, we'll have our main event. Gastelum taking Till down, trying to go for the back. Takes his back, but they're both standing again. Reverse waist lock applied, belly to back, switches back over.
Gastelum pushing Till against the cage here, starting to knee him, but both trying to fight for position here. A couple combinations there from Gastelum.
Bouncing around is Till, 30 seconds now in the final round. We've had some really great fights here tonight. This one has been a good fight, but I don't think it's shown the true skills of either fighter. Both of them have been coming a little apprehensive, fighting a little harder here in the third round.
But a lot of damage to both of them. It's just been...
Gastelum takes Till down again with 10 seconds, both up to a vertical base, and we're going to go to we got a little bit of a firefight here after an exchange, and we will be going to the scorecards here in Madison Square Garden in our co-main event.
Pretty decent fight there. I don't know who would come out of that. I mean, I could see the judges scoring either of them, really, but...
And an interesting thing heading into this, Harry, is whether or not Gastelum's weight cut, how he felt on Friday, trying to get back up to his natural body weight, had an effect on him in this fight. Like, we see this all the time with fighters. Gastelum's had problems cutting weight before. Till, obviously, he's missed weight before. I think he missed weight against Stephen Thompson in Liverpool just about a year ago. But Till decided to make the move up to middleweight, and Gastelum missing weight here, that could be that could have been the reason why he was never in that kind of comfort zone.
Well, let's see here. Both fighters kind of believing that they won it here.
I can give this fight to Till.
Hey, I wouldn't be shocked here as we look at the stats here. Significant head strikes, 21-9 in favor of Till. Significant body strikes, 10-2 in favor of Gastelum. And leg kicks, a lot of them, very close, 15 for Gastelum, 16 for Darren Till.
Yeah, it's fairly even. I think Till takes this fight here. And yes, Rich Valancourt, you get the shout out, my friend. We're glad we got your last name right. And we're so glad everybody else is joining us as the crowd piles in. This coming in, another stat coming in from our statistical team in New York, in SBN MMA headquarters. Significant cup shuffles, 13-0 for Till.
Oh, there we go. And that's going to factor in the
scoring.
Yeah, the
new unified rules here, with the replays, there's been a lot of questions about whether or not cup shuffles would be a part of it, especially with the propensity for Till. But now we will go to the judge's decision, Harry.
Let's see.
What do we got?
Bruce Buffer getting ready here. Here's Bruce Buffer. Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards. Dave Torelli scores the contest, 30-27. Gastelum.
The guy that played for the Jets? He did box.
30-27. The winner by split decision, Darren Till.
Wow, and Gastelum looks perplexed, but he's like, all right, fine. He'll take the... That was like... All right. He was halfway befuddled, but then...
he was like, yeah, no, that's fair. He did the...
Good game.
No, true that. That was his expression. He was tremendously shocked for 5 seconds. Now Joe Rogan's going to interview Darren Till.
It was like he realized, oh, yeah, that's fine. It's like you forgot your car keys.
How does Darren Till feel at 185? I just want to say first. All right, now I've lost what he's saying. He felt like he was invincible, and to come off 2 devastating losses, he's moved up, and his opinion fought the bulldozer of the weight division, and it was a close fight that could have gone either way, and he proved a lot of effing doubters wrong.
And Dana White, there was criticism about...
And his critics, he tells to F off.
And he said Till was being fed to the wolves. A lot of people thought that with this fight against Gastelum, and Till really proved himself here and kind of proved Dana White right.
Yeah.
I don't know how to feel about that.
He was saying he just got off a flight 2 days ago. He felt confident.
Boy,
he's 26 and co-main eventing MSG. And he's just happy to be there, wants to build himself back up. He wants to stay humble and cocky at the same time. And then F all them doubters again. And he said it in the way English people say it. That's really more intense. That's somehow still positive, even though he's telling people to F off, Well, Till coming up with the victory here. Good for him. A pretty good fight and a lot of damage. It's one of those fights with just a lot of damage here. And cutting to the crowd.
And Till won that fight, right? And there's Kamaru Usman, the current welterweight champion, who fights Colby Covington on December 14th. Would you guys like us to call that card?
Let us know.
Let us know in the chat. Let them know on social media at MMA Mania on the Twitter machine.
And as they cut to Jorge Masvidal.
Whoever scored that fight 30-27, Harry, for Gastelum, should have their face should be held down and have their face spray painted like Pac-Man in colors.
Yeah, I mean...
And that's right, we made a colors reference in 2019.
We go deep. We like to go. We still get our videos from Blockbuster. We know what's what. You people
We're
don't
deep.
know.
You know what? We're deeper than someone who went to every night of a Steely Dan concert at the Beacon Theater.
Wow, a fool to do your dirty work, my friends. And,
oh Lord.
The biggest UFC running. What are they running here? They're saying it's going to be the biggest card of the year. They say that about everything. Is this the video game? What's going on? Usman, promoting the UFC 245. Usman versus Covington. And Colby Covington, a huge Trump supporter, came out with the most aggressive Trump hat you can get. The one that's the boat captain hat, too.
And it was autographed, too.
And it was autographed by
He looked like a 9-year-old who was at a Mets game.
The hat was
like Bobby Bonilla signed his hat.
Yeah,
his dad's a hedge fund manager, so they were able to get like nice box seats at Shea.
I mean, just to make sure that the hip hop community doesn't wear your hats, because that is not a hat. That is an elderly white guy's hat.
Andy Millsap saying, "You boys need to call every card. I would pay good money for the content." How much money are we talking?
You can actually do that by donating.
Hit the donate button at the bottom.
So
then give us the money. You see, we want your money.
Where's the money? When are you going to get the money? Why aren't you getting the money now? And etc.
Terra Zeta asking, do you play any form of tabletop RPG, Matt? You strike me as a fellow gamer. While I respect tabletop gaming, I am terrible at it. I played a lot of Half-Life and Counter-Strike in my prior life as a teenager. But I am at the point in my life where I cannot enjoy such things as video games because time is a weird concept in my household.
Time is an infinite circle.
That's right. Time's a flat circle.
Flat circle.
But I do approve and respect all tabletop gamers. I will gladly watch and call you play your game. I will do commentary for their games. I just don't.
After we're done with the Fat Olympics and nude male beach volleyball, overweight male beach volleyball. At The Rock, if you smell what The Rock is cooking.
Did you just say at The Rock?
What The Rock is cooking.
No, you said at The Rock. And there's The Rock walking out with the BMF belt, which the center plate looks like something you would get with a free purchase at Macy's. It looks like a ring someone bought for themselves because they thought they deserved it.
It does look like a pinky ring that you staple to a belt, and The Rock looking fantastic. How much you want to bet? What are the odds that at the end of the fight, The Rock goes to hand the belt to the winner and just rock bottoms him and walks out with the belt?
I would
love it.
I would die. I would die laughing. Yes, Paul, this is an 18th Ward Stout that I am drinking. Harry,
What?
Harry having flashbacks to the night he sold out the Prudential Center.
Oh, Jesus. Sold out the Prudential Center?
Yeah, you sold out the Prudential Center.
As who? How did I sell out the Prudential Center?
I'm not going to go into that right now.
No?
I can't talk about it legally.
I don't get what you're saying. All right, I'm missing something. All right, you want to write it down? All right, we'll move on, guys.
I just read the paper.
Is it
Thank you,
'cause I
Francis.
look like a young Roy Orbison tonight.
Yeah. He said at the Rock.
At the Rock. Oh, I get it. All right, yeah, I get it. Well, you're keeping that one secret. I messed up, and I still don't know if I did. Fake news.
You verbally tweeted at somebody in real life. That's what you did. Crazy Train asking, are they fighting yet? No, they're not fighting yet.
We'll tell you when they're fighting.
The UFC is taking their time because they're trying to piss Oscar De La Hoya off. Because Oscar and Dana hate each other or possibly just really want to work everyone.
Well, it's been in that sense, it's been great for the UFC because these fights have gone to the distance for the most part. So there's no having to fill time. But now we're watching a fight package.
Jason Roman, this is a situation similar to waiting tables. Verbal tips are great, but they don't pay the bills.
That's right.
Yes. See, there's a donate button at the bottom.
Also, likes on Twitter are useless. Retweets is where it's at.
Quote tweets. Quote tweets are where they're at. That's in that engagement.
And follow us at Harry Terjanian. That's all my social media.
They're showing Masvidal beat up Leon Edwards inside the O2 arena. The fight is next. Yes, the BMF, the Bonilla Monetary Fund Championship, is coming up in moments after a live celebration with Kool and the Gang playing Celebrate Good Times Come On.
It's the belt that says Bad Mother Effer on it.
Kind of mad that they just didn't make the wallet the belt.
The wallet the belt. It would have been better than that.
Yeah,
That
like that leather is a strap. Like,
I'm not gonna lie, that was.
It's disappointing.
What, the belt?
Yeah, it's underwhelming.
I mean,
I'm fine to be wrong. I'm fine to be wrong.
No, it's underwhelming. I don't like it. First of all, I don't like the current UFC belt. Anyway, I like the old design, but whatever. But it's also not that much different. You know, it's for a custom-made belt. It's just one of the few things UFC didn't do right because they're great with a lot of other stuff. The press conferences are great. The press conference leading up to this, the press conference for 245, it's all been good.
Dominique Gillen, I'll donate $20 if you say I'm a fat pig. Okay, Dominique, you're a fat pig. Where's my $20? And this coming in from our sources inside Madison
Why are you
Square
watching?
Garden.
Stop watching if you don't like it.
Keep watching. He thinks I'm pretty. Harry, this is big news.
Yeah.
An interim BMF belt is being made for $25,000 just in case Diaz doesn't make his drug test.
Oh, jeez. Nice. All right. A lot of always controversy. The drug test that he failed but didn't fail. But we're here. It's the moment finally after months of build-up, the BMF title. I'm trying to hear what music is coming to. I don't know.
Is it Rhythm of the Night? 'Cause it's the rhythm of the night.
I don't know what song this is. You might be able to tell if you want to put them in, but doesn't matter. And Nate Diaz. Let's see here. A little bit of shadow boxing from Nate Diaz this fight. Nate only been knocked out once in his career. We know this when Josh Thompson beat him in 2013. Won 3 of his last 4 fights, stretch over the past 4 years. But again, a lot of controversy with Nate everywhere he goes. A lot of years spent away from the UFC. You know, for weed, basically, because he loves smoking weed and he refuses to stop.
Also, he wasn't getting paid enough.
Yeah, I mean, which one happened first? I don't even know what order anymore.
Shit, chicken and the egg at this point.
Yeah, he also set the record against Conor McGregor twice. Set a UFC record.
And Nate
Diaz, I don't know what the hold up here. They cut to Nate, and he's not. Now he's coming out.
This just in, and this is legit. There are no fights going on at the MGM Grand Garden Arena right now They are showing the main event to the fight. They're showing this main event right now at the MGM Grand instead of having a fight in the ring.
Wow. That is...
What a rib!
I don't know if that's the smartest move or the dumbest move. I have no clue how to even take that.
Jim Leonis, thank you for
admittance.
subscribing.
I mean, it's reality.
Oh,
Look.
mother of God, that can't be true. UFC's finally on DAZN. DAZN did it. Way to go, guys. Proud of you. You know, the brand that couldn't contain Combate America. The home of KSW and Bellator. And quite possibly Outlaw Mud Show Pro Fighting, my new MMA league starting in January 2024.
Unbelievable. I'm just never disappointed by the world of combat sports, man. I'm astonished by that, but it's a smart move because look, they don't want to run that fight against it. But what does it matter? I mean, if you bought the pay-per-view, or you already bought it. If you bought it, right?
Yeah.
If you bought the boxing pay-per-view, it's on DAZN.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I forget that. Maybe that's how it's changed.
So these people paid thousands of dollars to watch Canelo Alvarez fight, and now they're watching Nate Diaz fight Jorge Masvidal. Before.
I think it's a smart move. I think you have to admit what it is.
No, it's because DAZN got caught trying to pull an okey doke because they were trying to do Joshua and Ruiz in a Canelo fight within the same billing cycle.
Oh, really? Why? Based on what? To draw people in?
To try to keep subscribers or build the subscriber base.
Interesting
They're
strategy.
not doing the Logan Paul fight because they think Logan Paul's a fantastic pugilist.
No, I get it. Without a doubt, I'm fine with that type of stuff. You show the crazy stuff, the sideshow stuff. If you acknowledge what it is, no one, is looking at that as a legitimate contest, but unbelievable news.
That can't be.
What's going on? What else have we...
The MGM Grand has run out of beer and nachos, and they're starting to get restless.
It's getting a little dicey out there at the MGM Grand. The craziest thing that used to happen was someone got their ear bit off.
Or Fan Man.
And Fan Man, it's always at the MGM
We might
Grand.
have a we gotta watch this fight now. We've gotta watch what happens.
Oh,
and a shout out to Jim Leonis. Thank you, Jim, for sending us $1.99. That's right, $1.99.
You can do that?
And he said, thank you guys, $800 on Masvidal for me, so he's taking Masvidal. All right.
Who do you have in this fight? I'm going with Masvidal. I like Nate Diaz
I want to take Masvidal because he's riding the momentum of that Askren knockout, but Nate Diaz,
Diaz is solid. I just don't have the experience to see as an expert that I'm not to know what he can do. I just love watching Masvidal fight, the way he goes about it. He's on an incredible streak for sure. What else is going on? Has the ATM run out of money? Are they out of toilet paper at the MGM Grand? Keep us posted.
It's full-blown Lord of the Flies.
The air conditioning has broken down.
Yo, Jay Sim, my man, this ain't an act. I ain't working. This is legitimate reaction.
Wow.
And also, Mankind and Johnny Cash.
I'll take that. I'm Johnny Cash.
You get Johnny Cash.
Hello, I'm Johnny Cash.
And thank you, Jason Roman, for sending $2.
Sweet. Stockton. Jason Rome, yeah. Shout out to Stockton.
Oh,
California, I'm hoping.
It's Stockton. Masvidal's from Miami. Nate Diaz is from Stockton, California.
All right, so you're a Nate Diaz fan. Shout out to Stockton.
So right now, Kovalev is laying on a couch in his dressing room. Canelo's had his gloves on for over an hour.
Why would they put him on? Why wouldn't they wait to... Why wouldn't they wait till this fight started? Boxing is one of those things you never know where you're going on, except for tonight. Why wouldn't you? I don't know.
Boxing. Canelo's thing is no boxing, no life. So he's just always got boxing gloves on. It makes driving a car really difficult, like opening jars and stuff. But
I think it would make opening jars easier. You got that grip, the grip of the boxing glove.
Have you ever tried to open anything with boxing gloves?
No. Why would I?
How can you say?
That's why I said
I think. Such zeal. Oh, it should be easy.
Look, we got time to fill. We got no fights going on anywhere right now. Not in the Octagon, as everyone's still getting into the Octagon. Certainly not at the MGM Grand, where we're on the verge of. I swear,
Dana White will be my hero forever if he just automatically says, "Oh, Hey, y'all, I'm sorry. We got to delay this 20 minutes.
Nothing happy. Jorge Masvidal, 2019 knockout wins against Ben Askren and Darren Till. Fastest knockout in UFC history, of course. His last fight with 5 seconds. An incredible fight. Do we have another update? Every time I see you smile, someone at the MGM Grand dies a horrible death. Every time you smile, it's like, how could it be worse?
Think about this. Canelo Alvarez, arguably the biggest star in boxing, right?
Yeah.
Like, in the world.
Yeah. And waiting.
He has to wait to fight for his 4th world title in as many weight classes because Jorge Masvidal and Nate Diaz are fighting at the Garden.
Which fight was booked first? I don't know. This one.
Yeah.
So, well, shame on boxing for going up against it. You could have done... I get it. It's hard. UFC runs 52 cards a year.
At minimum.
That you have to compete at least against. Yeah. I mean, it's an admittance of defeat. You know, you were there at the press conference. I go to the UFC press conferences. It's just packed with people, passionate fans. Boxing is just dying.
Shout out to Jim Leonis for another $1.99 donation. Let's take a look at the stats really quick. Both are 34 years old. Masvidal, undersized, 5'11", to Diaz's 6 foot. Masvidal coming in at 169.5 pounds to Diaz's 170.5. And Diaz has a slight reach advantage over Masvidal. But thank you, Jim Leotis, for the other $1.99 donation. Yeah. Diaz, brother, they're doing the introductions now, folks. We're doing the introductions. Yeah. Both fighters are in the cage. You guys don't want to leave. You don't want to go anywhere.
You don't want to miss this.
Put us in your ears if you're going to walk the dog. And Jim Leonis saying Diaz brothers are fake. They're really from Lodi.
They went to private school. I know something about you that no one else knows. I forget that they're both about this. They're both the same age. I don't know why in my head.
Because Jorge Masvidal has fought 362,000 times.
Well, it also doesn't help that Nate Diaz has been out of the UFC for years at a time.
Yes.
With a 20-11 record, and I mean this crowd is hot. It's exciting. They still haven't shown Trump. They're just not going to, huh?
I don't think they're showing him on camera.
Smart. The moment you've all been waiting for. Here we go.
And we thank you, the highest audience of the night, joining us. Well, it is main event time. You guys missed one hell of a card and have missed many a thing.
It's been one of the best UFC cards that I've watched. Even the last fight with Darren Till being victorious in a somewhat, some people consider boring fashion. But now this main event, exciting. Nate Diaz slapping himself in the head. And again, if you're just joining us, I did run into Nate Diaz at the Whole Foods bathroom in Manhattan. I know that he washed his hands. I didn't get a look at the unit, but it's still an exclusive. Nate Diaz did wash his hands and eating clean, and did not run into Jorge Masvidal, as Masvidal threatened during the last press conference that he would take him out at Whole Foods.
And a shout out to Patricia Portel. Thank you guys. Diaz by knockout in the 3rd. Love me a sexy Santa, LOL. Am I a sexy Santa?
You or Masvidal?
Hashtag sexy Santa then.
All right, guess, fair enough.
Sup, girl?
Any update on the death toll at the MGM Grand? Are we getting any information? Has the rioting started?
No, not yet.
Not yet. The listless, apparently they ran out of nachos. That'll happen when you run your first boxing event ever. Oh no, I'm sorry. They've done this literally 1,000,000 friggin' times. Yeah. How does that? Whatever, man. I don't.
The MGM Grand just not getting
boxing
that many events.
Dying. It's just dying.
And Masvidal, the favorite in this fight, according to Las Vegas, and back and forth here in the chat.
I mean, Nate Diaz, an incredible fighter. Oh, in my head, I always just think it's just the inconsistency of what's going on in his life. The story of Nate Diaz, you never feel like he's on a consistent track. I mean, he's just a hell of a fighter, no doubt. But
the upper level of MGM
is the referee. I'm sorry, acknowledging this fight is to determine who the baddest mother effer is.
Upper level of MGM right now looking like Rockstar Games, The State of Emergency from 2002, which was just a terrible game altogether, but we'll just leave it at that. Both men, the official introductions have went down. Dan Miragliotta has said this is for the baddest mother effer in the World Championship. It's for the battle of the BMF title. Masvidal, Diaz, let's go, main event time.
And they're starting up here.
And Masvidal tried to sneak in and lead in with that flying knee. And this has gone longer than Masvidal's last fight. Diaz landing early with some strikes, backing up Masvidal against the cage. Right, left hand missed, and Masvidal's having fun in there.
Very excited. Diaz, all business as usual.
Quick combinations by Masvidal. Masvidal locks up Diaz in the clinch, getting his back against the octagon.
Bill Belichick once told Diaz he doesn't smile enough. But he is all business here, but Masvidal has him against the cage. This crowd is hyped. And a bit of a bear hug here. Nate Diaz holding on, but some knees from Masvidal.
And some quick elbows to the jaw. Masvidal going at it, going after Diaz.
Ooh.
Strikes, kicks
Got
him.
him down.
Diaz is down. Diaz is down, and he is bleeding from the eye. He is bleeding from his right eye, and Masvidal taking control. Diaz trying to keep Masvidal at bay, and he does. But Masvidal coming right back, ground and pound. Can Masvidal finish Nate Diaz in the first round?
Is the ref going to stop
Masvidal,
this?
hammer fist, punches to the midsection. Diaz forcing Masvidal to get back up. In trouble. Here we go in the early stages. 3:39 left to go, and Diaz is bleeding, and Masvidal waiting, trying to get back, and he lands another strike from the top, standing right above Diaz, who will not pull guard.
And Masvidal pulling away slowly, not letting Diaz get up, but Diaz kicking, trying to protect his face here. Now Masvidal holding the legs.
Diaz trying to get back up, and he will get back. Nope, he'll stay right down.
Back on his...
Masvidal not giving him any space. Masvidal missing with a punch. Diaz with a punch from the ground.
Dangerous position. 3 minutes still left in this first round of a 5-round fight here for the baddest MFer championship. And weird, Masvidal backing off a little bit here, but Diaz still on the ground. Almost looking like he's going to put him in a sharpshooter. But
Diaz trying to push off the knee of Masvidal. Great positioning by Masvidal, landing body strikes, isolating the ankles while grabbing them.
a lot of patience here from Masvidal after initially having control what looked like could be the end of the fight.
They're near Masvidal has Diaz near the cage, in between the cage and the center of the octagon. And it's a weird position right now for Diaz. He's not close enough to the cage to try to get up, and he's not close enough to the middle to make it that big of an issue.
Masvidal pulls up and lets him get up. Did the ref make them do that? No, I think that Masvidal.
Masvidal just let Diaz get up. Diaz is bleeding profusely from under his right eye. Diaz trying to pull the takedown. Has Masvidal's right leg, has him against the octagon. 2 minutes now remaining in round number 1.
I don't know how wise it was to let him up, but Masvidal getting frustrated perhaps. I don't know what the thought process, but Nate Diaz now has Masvidal up against the cage.
But you know what? We gotta look
down.
back at the first McGregor fight and how Diaz was able to battle through with all that punishment and still come away with the victory.
No doubt.
For the Stockton faithful, for the Diaz brothers fan base, the Nate Diaz army, this may be a non-emergency. 90 seconds left to go in the round.
It looked very bad. Now both fighters back in the center of the cage. But it looked really bad for Diaz in that moment. I'm surprised. Ooh, a couple punches from Diaz on Masvidal.
Quick knee to the midsection. Blew a kiss to the camera. Masvidal. And locking him up right against the cage. A knee to the back of the thigh by Masvidal. Minute 7 left to go in the round.
And this has been a hell of a round. Masvidal just pushing Diaz up against the cage, trying to just squeeze the energy out of him,
Unless something major happens, this round's going to Masvidal. Diaz trying to fight back his back against the cage.
He still has about 48 seconds left in this first round.
And remember, folks, this is a 5-round fight. This is a main event and a title fight, so this is good. This has 5 rounds if it needs to. Quick combination by Masvidal, landing some looping punches on Diaz, not fully connecting, but continuing to do damage with 30 seconds left to go in the round. Diaz trying to put pressure on Masvidal, just jogging around, having fun. Diaz just walking, strutting right over to him.
He is
keeping
bleeding,
the fire. 20 seconds left to go.
Bleeding horrendously from that right eye. Just pouring blood. And it's going to be a long fight for Nate Diaz here. the way it's going right now. 10 seconds left. Ooh.
Quick left hand to the jaw of Masvidal.
Unfazed. Masvidal's unfazed, telling him he wants more, telling him to come close. And the end of the first round here.
What a round.
Wow.
Hot damn.
Wow.
Let's look at the replay again. And here's the shot. A knee right to the midsection into that elbow. That elbow, I think that's what busted Diaz open. And then a quick leg kick, a kick right to the head, driving the shin. Diaz bent down. He hunched down for a second. And Masvidal just kicked him right in the face with a foot that Pat McAfee would have loved for the brand. A branding shot, Masvidal.
Nate Diaz
won round number one.
At least one here. Let's see what the corner has to say here. Nate Diaz's corner. And they're trying to fix the cut. Ooh.
That is a deep
cut.
cut.
That is cut wide open.
Oh, wow.
That's going to be a problem.
It is about this, it's about this big, and it runs about from halfway down Diaz's eyebrow, but Diaz getting right back up, giving no quarter.
Diaz unfazed, making the same face he makes always, no matter what's going on, whether he's sleeping or at Whole Foods, in the bathroom at Whole Foods, washing his hands, because Nate Diaz washes his hands.
Terjanian.
That's an exclusive that I got at Whole Foods. Not all heroes wear capes. As we start this second round here, Nate Diaz moving quickly.
Going right to Masvidal, elbow to the midsection, missing what a right hand did Diaz.
Masvidal unfazed by it, all of it. Very focused in the start of this first round.
He's focused. Quick left hand and a right hand, getting right to that eyebrow, did Masvidal. It's the right eye. It's the right eye and right eyebrow, right under his right eye and right eyebrow of Diaz.
And above the eyebrow. He's got two cuts. Masvidal moving very smoothly in this this fight so far. His footwork is great, just very smooth motions.
Almost went for a savate kick to Diaz, looking like Haku in '89, and now bouncing right in the middle of the octagon. Kick right to the midsection by Masvidal. Masvidal missing with that high kick, aiming for the head, not landing. Quick right jab by Masvidal. Quick combination by Diaz. Just over a minute gone by, pardon me, in the first round.
Kick from Masvidal to the midsection there. It's a couple combinations from Masvidal.
Both men keeping their guard high here. Diaz trying to keep this fight standing. Masvidal has been in control of this fight for the majority. Quick right hand by Masvidal, going for the left eye now of Diaz. 15 of 18 body strikes landed from Masvidal, 9 of 13 by Diaz.
Big strike from Masvidal, and it follows it up with a kick and combination, and Nate
Diaz is down again after a body kick right to the midsection. Diaz taunting Masvidal, even though he's in trouble. And Masvidal not wanting to go to the ground with Diaz.
Smart for sure. Ooh, the cut is just above and below his eye. Oof.
His eye is essentially a bridge with bloody water on either side of it.
And 2 minutes and 56 seconds left in the second round here. Crowd trying to cheer Diaz on. But Diaz just always, you know, his MO has become taking a beating and continuing to go forward.
Left hand, and now against the cage again, Masvidal wraps up Diaz. Trying to keep this fight standing. He does not want her to go to the ground with Nate Diaz. 2.5 minutes left to go in round number 2. Masvidal getting Diaz against the cage. Diaz trying to fight out of it. A quick left hand from Masvidal, and they break away. Masvidal getting closer to the center of the octagon. Diaz tying him up. A couple of quick left hands, a little dirty boxing by Diaz. Trying to find a way. Quick elbow, basically kind of a rabbit punch. A punch to the back of the kidneys.
2 minutes left here in the round, and Nate Diaz just going for some hammer fist to the thigh, just almost some desperation.
Some quick punches by Diaz, wrapped up in the clinch. Masvidal with a knee and an elbow to the back of the head.
A couple combinations here from Masvidal, but Nate Diaz takes it in a weird stance. What the hell was that? It was showing him his hind end.
Oh, you know.
He's turning his back to Masvidal, and Masvidal takes advantage.
He's trying to bait him.
I guess.
It's either that or Diaz is knocked so loopy he doesn't know where he is anymore. But I don't think that's the case.
How can you tell with Nate Diaz? Again, Masvidal pushes him up against the cage as we have 1 minute and 15 seconds left in this first round here.
Punching to the knee and to the rib cage is Diaz, whose back is pressed against the cage. His face is a crimson mask right now as blood continues to pool above and below his right eye. Reverse waistlock now. Trying to take him down is Masvidal. He's trying to isolate Diaz under a minute, and he gets the takedown. Side control applied. Now trying to go for the back of Masvidal. Diaz is Masvidal.
Diaz trying to protect his head, taking a couple hammer fists, but slowly trying to push his way down. But Masvidal takes him right back down. And bad positioning for Diaz here.
Diaz in the Uncle Luke position. Masvidal takes his back. Trying to maybe just continue the pressure and continue the assault here. Not going for a submission, but Diaz has locked his right arm behind the knee of Masvidal, and he gets to turn him over almost got the mount, but Masvidal scrambles, and we've got a scramble now near the gate.
15 seconds left in this second round here.
Heel hook. He's trying to go for the heel hook. Masvidal's trying to hang on, trying to break out of it.
10 seconds left.
Diaz finding a way to survive through round number 2 and nearly trying to steal this fight with a heel hook. And we've got Masvidal raining down blows, and they'll go to the corners.
Wow, Nate Diaz showing you why he's so dangerous just from out of nowhere. Masvidal fully in control and with just a smart maneuvering, grabbing the leg and twisting him over. And then all of a sudden, Nate Diaz has you. It's like an alligator just flipping you over with a gator roll. And that is why he's so friggin' dangerous. Just unbelievable how he was able to capitalize on that position. And that's why you see why Masvidal was just backing away the entire fight. And, with the corner, the cuts are getting worse and worse here for Nate Diaz.
Masvidal looking fairly unscathed, looking a little tired. Little pale in the face there, like he needs a little bit of oxygen. But
surviving that last 30 seconds, that cut is just brutal. Is the fight doctor going to look at that or not? No, not.
I believe the fight doctor has been called away to go to Las Vegas to help quell the riot.
Resuscitating people from starvation, apparently, because they have run out of nachos and beer at the MGM
I really
brand.
hope it doesn't turn into an alive situation.
People are eating each other. People from the lower bowls have started eating the fatter, poor people in the upper bowls.
Oh, then we're screwed. Round 3, here we go. BMF title. Diaz in trouble. I think on my scorecard down 2 rounds to nothing.
Yeah, no doubt. But, I mean, again, very scary. Nate Diaz, even when he's down, can do things like that when he gets on the ground. The same thing that he did with Conor McGregor.
Right hand by Diaz.
And Diaz
starting
landing a lot of combinations.
Punches. Masvidal having a little bit of fun. A smile has not fallen from Masvidal's face, I think, in this fight.
But Masvidal slowing it down, trying to cool down the immediate burst from Diaz to start this third round here. Lands a big punch, Masvidal does.
Gotta wonder if Greg Hardy's inhaler is off Twitter and inside Madison Square Garden tonight. For Jorge Masvidal, who looks like he's regaining a little bit of color. He looks very pale in driving that body kick right into the midsection of Diaz.
And this just in, they have started looting at the MGM Grand. There is looting taking place. The restless people also watching this.
64 significant strikes landed by Masvidal, 35 by Diaz.
Wow.
Another quick left hand to the jaw of Diaz, nearly connecting again with that eye, but Diaz feigning away enough to just get caught on the chin.
Just quickly. So quick.
Battling now against the cage. Diaz undeterred, even though he is down, in my opinion, 2 rounds to 0 and bleeding. Almost got caught by Masvidal after going for a kick to the midsection.
And again, Masvidal clearly leading on points for sure, but just not.
This fight's
not over.
We saw that.
Far
we saw that in
from
the Gregor Gillespie Kevin Lee fight. A fight can change in an instant.
Diaz landing a lot of quick combinations, a lot of quick punches.
Just going at each other. Both men just landing strikes. Body kick by Masvidal. Combination just swinging, looping left and right hooks. Diaz trying to mix it up with his punches. Punch to the body by Masvidal to Diaz's ribs. Connected with to the left side now, and swelling starts to begin near Diaz's left eye.
A nice
Big right hook by Masvidal.
Diaz touching that eye continuously, rubbing blood out of his face as those cuts on the top and bottom of his eye have opened up. And Masvidal clearly targeting that eye as well.
Right now, if I'm looking at this fight, it's 2-0 Masvidal in terms of rounds, and Diaz is going to need to right the ship here in the last 2:10 of round 3, or it's going to be a very long round 4 and 5 for him.
Masvidal.
Right hand landed by Diaz. 2 minutes left to go in the round, and you can see a little bit of blood under Masvidal's eye now. You got to wonder if that's his or Diaz's blood now. Diaz ties up Masvidal, gets him against the octagon. A small little cut, I believe, is under Masvidal's eye, but I can't tell if it's a cut or just Diaz's blood pooling underneath his eye.
Diaz's blood is all over Masvidal, so it wouldn't surprise me if it's just Diaz's blood. And Diaz, again, dragging Masvidal and clinching closely to keep those punches from just rocking and damaging that eye a little bit more. Masvidal's trying to squeeze the life out of him here, press him up against the cage.
A lot of Nate Diaz fans in the chat right now visibly frustrated with the way this fight is going, but Diaz trying to battle out here in round 3.
Don't worry, it's far from over. I mean, this is Diaz at any moment we saw at the end of the last round could turn it around here. So that's why he is so dangerous. I mean, how many times have we seen that happen?
Trip takedown.
And such a smart fighter. I mean, just using his positioning, using his legs to twist Masvidal around. And at any point, if he gets him on the ground, can choke him out. Almost got him with the heel hook before. And now Masvidal gets Diaz on the ground. Hammer fisting him. Masvidal going for combination. But Diaz pulling him forward.
And Rich Valancourt, we're not questioning Nate in rounds 4 and 5. We're just looking at it like if this goes the distance here, Masvidal's been in control here in the first 3 rounds.
And continuing here, yeah. Got at the positioning.
And now, Diaz once again on the bottom.
But landing a lot of hammer fists from the bottom.
Shots from the bottom, but Masvidal
having to protect himself. 10 seconds left in this round.
Sitting up, landing some shots, and landing at will. Elbows to the face of Diaz. And will Diaz survive the round?
Oh,
and he does.
He does. Wow, another great round. An exciting fight, a tremendous fight, and a lot of damage taken by Nate Diaz. But you can also see Masvidal he doesn't look damaged physically, but took a lot of heavy hits from Nate Diaz while he was in control, which is insane.
Let's take a look here. Some of the replays. That looping right hook catching Diaz right on the flesh of the jaw. And then a body kick right to the ribs. And you can see it pains Diaz. Quick right hand and some flash of the Diaz, but Masvidal just saying, come on, I want more. Give me more. And this is it. I think Masvidal, I think Nate may have met his match.
In what sense? I'm sorry.
I think Nate's met his match in Masvidal.
Oh, yeah, Nate's met his match. Yeah. I mean, but again, I still cannot count Nate out because of what he has done at the end of the last 2 rounds. I mean, from the bottom, was able to land so many hammer fists and a little bit of a small cut underneath. I guess it was not a big cut there. And the fight doctor coming out, who looks like Mo Rocca from The Daily Show.
We're going to go in round 4.
Asking
Diaz saying he can go. He's fine.
What else is he going to say? The tombstone of Nate Diaz is going to say, I'm good. Nate Diaz is never going to stop. The only thing he stops for is to wash his hands at the urinal of the Whole Foods. The referee's waving it off?
They're calling the fight. The doctor has called the fight. It is a doctor stoppage. Jorge Masvidal has won the BMF title by doctor stoppage at the end of round number 3. And a great sign of respect. Both men showing each other love and showing each other respect. And Masvidal not happy. He didn't want this to end that way.
Not for the BMF title.
No, not for that, no.
I mean, BMF might stand for bloodiest mother effer, but then in which case you should give it to
Nate Diaz is a warrior. Like, he wanted to go. He wanted to keep this fight going.
And the referee, interestingly, does...
And you know what? I say run it back. Let's run it back.
And the crowd chanting
the BS
chant. We're trying to stay clean on this channel. For a while we can. It's not going to last. I promise you it's not going to last.
If this fight was in Vegas, if this fight was in Las Vegas, we'd be going to round 4.
Well, that was what the crowd was chanting when they ran out of nachos and beer, apparently. The MGM Grand.
It's either that or the New York State Athletic Commission got a call from Oscar De La Hoya, and they were like, come on, we gotta go, gotta go, gotta go. And the New York State Athletic Commission have stopped things for lesser reasons before, and Dana White is mad. Dana's mad, Nate Diaz is mad, Joe Rogan is mad, everybody's mad.
The people at the MGM are mad. I don't think there's any... Look, I don't disagree with the fight doctor on this. That eye is...
Yeah, it's not good.
It's a dangerous situation. It is a dangerous situation for Nate Diaz. A cut, 2 deep cuts above and below. And one of his cornermen handing him a Monster Energy drink.
Gotta get that sponsor.
To Masvidal.
And the official decision will be a doctor stoppage. You can see the cut on Diaz's eye. He is not happy, but that eyebrow is Tyson Fury level.
Due to doctor stoppage is the official. Nobody happy about this. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, I mean, not reluctantly putting the belt, but... And Joe Rogan interviewing Masvidal, saying it was an amazing fight for as long as it lasted. You had some pretty spectacular moments, Joe Rogan says. Are you disappointed the way they stopped it? Yeah, for a fact, says Jorge. We're running it back, he says. Masvidal saying he's going to run it back. So this is not the end of the BMF title here.
And Roberto Duran in the building, the hands of stone, showing some respect to Jorge Masvidal. All right, so that means that Sugar Ray Leonard's going to train Nate Diaz for the second fight?
I think so. I mean, it's a good thing, I guess, Roberto Duran wasn't the corner man.
Evil Rooter shouting you out, Harry, saying, what's up from Australia? Big fan, great cast.
Thank you. Masvidal calling out Blondie and Vanilla Bean, giving them shout-outs. We're going to run it back, New York. Don't be booing.
Now, do you
and
run
threatening the crowd, saying, I'll hand out these 3 pieces in a soda to you, too.
Oh, please do that. Oh, please do that.
3 pieces in a soda sounds pretty delicious to the people at the MGM Grand who have no nachos and or beer.
Also sounds delicious to us here in Weehawken.
And Masvidal saying the only strategy was to take him out. And he didn't want to take it to the 4th and 5th round. Ironically, he didn't have to. And Masvidal saying, I'm not the effing doctor, so don't be booing me. I came to fight. And it's not my fault the doctor stopped it, he says.
The New York State Athletic Commission has ruined a fun evening. But good news is, MMA Mania is now followed by former New England Patriot Lawyer Malloy.
Oh, nice. And, Rogan's going to interview Nate Diaz here. Nate Diaz flexing. Nate Diaz doesn't seem phased or upset.
I'm not surprised.
Nate Diaz saying he had a cut from his last fight 3 weeks ago.
3 months ago, maybe?
He said 3 weeks. Give us your thoughts on how the fight was going. Nate saying, especially today, he had an issue where he couldn't run as much as he usually does. And he wasn't going to really push till round 4. His plan was to kind of... And he's saying he got Jorge got the drop down on like how he was supposed to. But I'm coming back for your ass, MFer. Right back. He wants to do it again. Let me heal up and let me do it again. And Joe Rogan congratulating him. We know it was not. Rogan making it clear that it's not Nate Diaz's decision to stop the fight. Wow, just an incredible way to...
An imperfect way to end a nearly perfect evening and nearly perfect card. Oh, and there's BMF replica belts now. Of course there are.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you commoditize it?
If you want to underwhelm your friends this Christmas, get them the BMF Championship, which I guess they'll have during the rematch.
Yeah, so they're
I don't think you can blame the doctor for stopping this. In all fairness, it's not crazy
if this wasn't New York, that fight would still be
you
going.
Think?
Yeah, Tyson Fury's cut weeks ago in his last fight was significantly bigger.
Yeah, but that's boxing. They apparently have no standards for safety for anyone's concerned, least of all the people at the MGM Grand who are now starving to death, waiting for the Canelo, the Canelo fight to happen.
We'll wrap this up. Harry, what are your final thoughts?
An incredible card, man. An incredible card from top to bottom. I wasn't disappointed with any of it. I know the Till fight was a little... The crowd started to get a little bit antsy about it, but even that fight was really good. A lot of back and forth in that. But just a great card all around. A lot of different fights. It was just spectacular. And even with the disappointing finish, that fight was a great main event.
It delivered. It was what we wanted. It didn't end the way we wanted to.
But I think we can do it again, and that's the beauty of it. That's one where you get kind of the best of both worlds here.
Yeah.
You get a really strong fight, and it makes sense for them to do it again. And we'll see.
Thank you so much to the thousands of people who spent their Saturday night or Sunday morning with us.
Set your clock back. Daylight savings time.
If you're in the United States or Canada, set your clocks back. If you're in the UK, you already did it, so you're good. Be sure to follow us across social media, MMA Mania on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Head on over to MMAmania.com right now for the live post-fight press conference. Also head on over to BloodyElbow.com for extended coverage of UFC 244. We'll have more about what happened in the aftermath of UFC 244 all week long at MMAmania.com. Exclusive, the best MMA coverage, the realest MMA coverage can be found at MMAmania.com and BloodyElbow.com and across the SBN MMA network. Be sure to subscribe to the SBN MMA YouTube channel because you know what? If you like what we did here, we're going to try to do more stuff for you inside and outside of the studio. And I just got word we will be back here inside the shed, inside the junkyard for UFC 245 in December.
December 14th.
December 14th, Covington Usman. That'll be right here on the SBN MMA channel.
I hope you join us, please.
We'll be here.
We had a great time. We hope you had a great time.
One of the best broadcasts I think I've ever been a part of.
Absolutely.
It's been a great time. So we want to say thank you. Thank you to June for moderating in the YouTube. Thank you for Jesse for staying active in the chat. Thank you, Normal, for your up-to-date coverage. Thank you, Stephanie Sotilli, for being hilarious and sending us great lines. And thank you for
joining us.
Thank you guys for joining us. Thank you, Harry, for
I will see you
writing it down.
See you at the Fat Olympics.
Yeah, see you at the Fat Olympics.
And apparently the MMA fight we're going to have once we both pass the physical, which should be about 2022. So join us for that.
Yes.
Thank you. And good night.
Yeah, good night, guys. Thank you so much for the compliments. Thank you so much. Be sure to go to MMAmania.com right now for the live post-fight press conference. And be sure to hit that subscribe and like button. Until UFC 245, that's Harry Terjanian. I'm Matt Ryan. Hit him with the Han, Baba Booey. And we'll see you next time. So long from the Garden State.